Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. Hope everybody's having a good evening so far. We actually have a pretty big breaking situation just to the northwest of Houston, Texas. There's actually a tornado warning that was just issued for those kind of in the suburbs. So just west of Jersey Village is currently included in an ongoing tornado warning. What I need you to do right now, if you're in this pink box just northwest of Houston, Texas, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible, in an interior room of your home or whatever building you're in. This is a pretty dangerous storm right now that's moving actually southeast, so this will eventually go towards Houston. Whether it's tornadic once it gets towards Houston is still questionable. With the kind of environment that we have, I don't expect long tracked or strong tornadoes, but this could be a situation where we do see some sort of brief tornado in this sort of storm. So let's go over to the velocities right now, and currently the rotation has actually been kind of on the moderate side. So this is the current look at the velocities. Here are your winds going away from the radar, and you can see some of those brighter red colors in there right now near 290. That's at least representing some high wind speeds. Along with that, going a bit further to the south, here are your winds going towards the radar, and what this really indicates here is that there is at least some rotation. When we have these winds kind of going around each other in a counterclockwise rotation, that does typically mean that we have some sort of rotation ongoing, especially with how close these green and red colors are. Now, they're not tight and confined to the point where there's currently an ongoing tornado. However, this could very well develop as this storm continues to move down to the south and east over the next several minutes. Now, we actually are very fortunate that we have another radar site that's a bit smaller but gives us another idea of what's going on a little bit closer to the storm. And here's the rotation from here just south right now of 290, again northwest of Houston, Texas, and this is where we do have some rotation as well. Let's kind of dive into the correlation coefficient as well. I'm not sure if this radar site does give us that access, but the correlation coefficient essentially indicates whether we may have a tornado on the ground or not by basically indicating whether we have debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. It doesn't seem like this radar site has that accessibility. Let's go back down to the one near League City, and this is the current look at the correlation coefficient on the latest radar scan about 30 seconds ago, not indicating anything as of now. This is the current velocities from the last radar scan, and again, this is where our rotation is currently located right now near 290 and 99. So again, if you're included in this tornado warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, in an interior room of your home or building, because again, this is a pretty dangerous storm that's moving down to the south and east right now. This is the areas that are included. Again, it's primarily west of Jersey Village. This warning does go until 10:15 at least. Whether there's rotation after 10:15 again is a bit of a question mark. So if you're in Houston, Texas, just make sure you have a plan in place tonight. And I mentioned this last night on Twitter that we very well may have a couple of severe storms tonight, and a tornado threat wasn't out of the question. So the Storm Prediction Center didn't really have that big threat tonight, which it wasn't supposed to be a big threat. However, it is definitely an isolated threat, and we're just seeing this now kind of start to unwind, especially northwest of Houston, where this storm obviously is ongoing right now, and again has some rotation as this continues to move down to the south and east. It will definitely be a storm to watch for very closely, and you can actually see the wind speeds there. We're probably upwards of about 60 to 70 miles per hour just to the south of 290. Here's the latest radar scan, and again, right now, this is where our rotation is starting to maybe unwind just a little bit, so maybe a little bit of good news there. This will continue to move off to the east southeast. Again, it'll be kind of going along 290 towards Jersey Village. So if you're in Jersey Village, if you're not included in this warning, again, make sure you have at least some sort of plan right now in case you are included into a warning in the future, because this is a storm that definitely has that potential for maybe a brief tornado. We also have another severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued a bit further to the north. This is for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds near Huntsville. So just a little heads up here, that's near Interstate 45 north of Houston, Texas. We'll be watching that storm pretty closely. It looks to be actually kind of a pretty hefty hail core there, so we'll be watching that storm also pretty closely. But again, this is the current look right now from the closest radar site on this storm. If we go back over to the velocities, this is your rotation right here. So this is a much better view of it right now. Again, not tight and confined. There's no tornado on the ground right now. Again, that very well could change though as this storm does continue to move down to the east-southeast over the next several minutes. Definitely a really dangerous storm though. If this is able to produce a tornado, it is close to a pretty high populated area. So we are going to be watching the storm very, very closely as this does continue to move down to the east-southeast over the next several minutes. Again, if you're along 290 and just east of 99. Make sure you get into your safe place immediately. Again, if anywhere in this pink box, you should be getting to your safe place right now. Let's go back over to the reflectivity. We're going to go back down to the south radar site. I don't think we got it. Yeah, we don't have a really good view on that storm. The best view that we have on this storm right now is from Houston, or just south of Houston near Galveston. So we'll be watching that storm off to the north pretty closely as well. So currently we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. In addition to that, we do have 1 tornado warning that we are monitoring very, very closely as this does continue to shift down to the east southeast, again towards Jersey Village, just off to the northwest of Houston, Texas. So that is currently where we're at as of right now. Alrighty. How's everybody doing, by the way? Hopefully, again, if you're included in this warning, if you know anybody, by the way, in this warning, give them a call or text, because again, this is pretty close to Houston, Texas. Again, I don't expect a strong or even a long track tornado with this. It's not that sort of situation. However, it definitely could produce a tornado, and any tornado, by the way, can produce some pretty substantial damage. Even EF0, EF1 tornadoes, we've seen it before, where they do produce some pretty hefty damage, even to like mobile homes, for example, small homes, all that sort of stuff can be very well impacted by stuff like this. So definitely make sure, again, if you know anybody in the track of this, make sure to give them a heads up. Also, I do recommend another thing. Make sure you hit the like button down below. It's free to do and it helps get this out to more people that are currently included in this warning, because again, this is a pretty dangerous storm right now. Also, this is in Harris County, Texas, just for those that are wondering. So near Houston, Texas. Latest update on this tornado warning, we are now up to quarter-sized hail. So there is a hail threat associated with this as well. Also back over in Walker County, that is off to the north. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. That's the one I just showed you a second ago. There's also a new severe thunderstorm warning for DeWitt as well as Carnes, Texas. Both of those are included for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and quarter-sized hail. So we now have 4 total warnings in the state of Texas. And again, we currently have 3 of them being severe thunderstorm warnings and our 1 tornado warning right now to the northwest of Houston, Texas, right now going towards Jersey Village. So if you're included in this, make sure you're getting to your safe place away from windows and lowest floor possible. We'll have another radar update here in just a moment. Actually, we just got our latest one. This is the most recent update as of 9:58 p.m., which is about a minute ago. This is the latest on the velocities. Again, I'm not seeing anything tight and confined to the point where there's definitely a tornado on the ground right now. Again, that could very well change, though. This is a storm that has that potential for maybe producing a tornado as it continues to move down to the east-southeast. And areas that will be in the track of this do include Houston. I'm actually going to go and put a timeline on this storm and give you an idea of where this will be heading and who's going to be impacted here over the next several minutes. I'm going to put it on the severe thunderstorm warning. These are all the towns and cities included in either a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's hop over to the tracker here. I'm going to go and try to track this storm out for those that are out in front of it. I'm going to put it a little bit wider, even though this is not the entire tornado warning cusp here. But this is kind of the overall timing. Now, it could get there a little bit earlier than this. Actually, let me put this again. Let me try this again. I did it a little bit too short. Let's kind of get this a bit more precise. Again, this is an estimated timing. This is not obviously going to be the guaranteed timing, but it will be kind of close to what you'll probably see. So these are the locations currently in the track of this storm. Houston is estimated to see this right around 11 o'clock. I wouldn't rule this out, though, that it gets there slightly earlier. However, again, things could change, so we'll be watching this kind of closely, but it is moving down to the east-southeast. Houston is in the track of this specific storm. It may just stay a sliver off to your north, but again, things obviously do change and evolve as these storms continue to move down to the east-southeast. But again, this is the general timing, so things that, again, this is estimated, but this is kind of the general timing on when you can probably expect this storm to arrive to your location, and whether it lives through all of this is also a bit of a question mark right now. As well. We do have an update on a severe thunderstorm warning that I do want to get to real quick. I'm not sure if it's anything of importance. Actually, it is. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now over in, currently actually over in Louisiana. This is for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, quarter-sized hail. This is back over south of Shreveport near Mansfield. So again, we now have actually 5 warnings currently ongoing. I was not actually expecting this many warnings today, but things are becoming a bit more active than obviously forecasted here across the southeast parts of Texas and all the way even back into Louisiana, which this was a possibility. I mentioned it last night on Twitter, but yeah, looks like there was some rotation that was reported on level 2. Thank you for the report, by the way. Appreciate it. All right, let's go back over to here. And let's hop back over to the velocity or reflectivity. So this is the current look, by the way, at the reflectivity values. This is where we could be talking about a little bit of hail, so possibly upwards of quarter-sized hail. Another thing to be keeping in mind is that the rotation is currently centered in all of this rain. So whether you're outside trying to see if there's a tornado, don't do that, because this is going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. There's no way you're going to be able to see this. This is, again, where the rotation is located. It is completely rain-wrapped if there is any sort of tornado on the ground. So, again, Jersey Village currently in the track of this. Houston, Texas will also be in the track of this here pretty soon. Again, this is back up to the north. We have a severe thunderstorm warning as well back up near Huntsville. This is currently for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds as of now. Possible rotation on the storm south of San Antonio. All right, we're gonna go and check that out now. We'll go back to the other tornado warning in a second. We're waiting for the next radar scan. Here's the other storm right now, and maybe a little bit. There is definitely a little bit of maybe broad rotation right now. It's kind of off the storm, though, but there's at least a wind threat. This is more, I would say, of a wind concern right now that's moving to the south and really south-southeast. Currently, that is southeast of San Antonio, pretty far southeast of there, but this might be something to watch for long term. But really for the short term, this is definitely the more dangerous of any of the storms right now, because it does have that tornado threat. Again, luckily we do have a kind of a close radar site here that's off to the northeast. This is again the rotation closer in near 99. I'm not seeing anything time confined. I'm actually seeing it to be broadening out maybe a little bit, but it does have that possibility to potentially strengthen again as it moves to the east southeast and potentially produce a tornado at some point as that continues to track down again towards Jersey Village. That is the main location included in this warning right now. Other locations do include Spring Branch West, as well as Willowbrook, Cypress, West Branch, Carverdale, Fairbanks, and Northwest Crossing and Memorial. Those areas are included in that severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado warning does also include a couple of those locations. Not popping up on here, but again, Jersey Village is going to be probably the main location included in this going over the long term. But these storms are not moving overly quickly. Let's be honest. These are only moving about 20 to 25 miles per hour at tops. So they are not moving overly fast. So for those in Houston, you're probably, again, not going to see this for maybe around an hour. If this storm is still severe by then, which definitely is not out of the question with the environment that we do have today. Hey, Red Road, how you doing? Welcome back. Sorry, I haven't really been looking at chat. How you doing, Shelly? Welcome back. This is the northwest side of Houston, so this is in the suburbs right now. It will be going towards Houston here pretty soon, so we are monitoring that possibility here very closely as this continues to track down to the south and east. And again, I highly recommend, if you're watching right now, which you are, if you're hearing my voice, make sure to hit the like button down below. Helps this get out to more people that are in the track of these storms. I'll actually be live here probably for a little bit. I was only planning to be live for like maybe half an hour, but it does seem like there's much more activity than what was expected here across the southeast parts of Texas and even back into Louisiana. We again have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 5. Let me double check here. But yeah, again, this is the main tornado warning, a little bit more zoomed out. Again, this is where you are in comparison to Houston. I can put a little how many miles we are for right now from this area. So let me go and do that real quick. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. That is the exact count. And we have 1 tornado warning. This is the path right now to Houston. So it's about 20 to 25 miles. I think it's 20. If I'm not mistaken. I think it started at 7 for some reason. Yeah, so it's about 20 miles. So this is only about 20 miles from Houston. It is going east-southeast, and it's kind of going a bit more east now. So this may just stay on the north side of Houston. So if you're kind of like in the Aldine area or south of Spring near Humboldt, those areas actually might be a bit more on the track of this. But again, the cone is kind of wide. You can even see this with the severe thunderstorm warnings. I would kind of expect this cone to kind of be in this region going over the long term, kind of its direction at least. Severe weather obviously won't happen in all these areas, but if there's going to be severe weather after these warnings, we could actually see it go as far north as areas maybe near Spring, or as far south again as areas like Houston. So those will be the areas to really watch for. The other concern with this storm is not just the tornado threat. We also have quarter-sized hail on the northern half of this storm. That is northwest of Jersey Village near 99. So again, if you are anywhere near the Houston area, make sure you get your car in your garage tonight, because there is a possibility for at least a little bit of $quarter to $half sized hail with a few of these storms. The ones that do become the most severe, which this has definitely been the most severe storm that we've seen so far tonight. This is the latest on the velocities. I'm not seeing nearly as much strong rotation. It is broadening out quite a bit, but it could again recycle. It very well could maybe redevelop as it moves down to the east, southeast, and east as well. So we'll be watching this closely. It's right now riding along 290. It is moving towards potentially Jersey Village. If not, it may stay a hair to the north of there. But if you're anywhere in this tornado warning, again, stay in shelter at least for the next 8 minutes, because this tornado warning does not not expire for another 8 minutes unless the National Weather Service does end up canceling it. So that is the current latest update there. All right, let's go back to here. Actually, let me go and let me go a little bit higher up here. So yeah, this is higher up on the storm, by the way, for those that are curious, on the higher elevation. So whether there might be a funnel cloud or something like that, I'm not again seeing anything definitive to the point where we definitely have a funnel cloud or some sorts there, like a lowering there in the sky. It's not out of the question though. The velocities are a little bit closer together there near 290. The higher up we do go up into the atmosphere, so that's something to kind of note here with this storm. But a big concern again is gonna be damaging winds as well. We do have a chance for upwards of 60 to 65 mile per hour damaging winds regardless of a tornado. Along with that, again, we do have $quarter to $half size hail with this storm as well, and we do have actually a special weather statement that got issued up to the north and east, but we'll keep it on this storm for the brief moment. Next radar scan's coming in here in just a second. Once that comes in, I'm going to go over to the hail radar unless some major change happens with the velocities, because that can give us a decent idea at least of what we're looking at currently in terms of hail, because there's definitely a possibility here for some $quarter to $half sized hail right now near 290. All right, next radar scan I think maybe just came in. No, it's should be coming in here in a second. Let me refresh the radar real quick. All right, here we go. And this is the latest scan here, and yeah, it does seem like maybe it does look like the velocities are starting to spin out here a little bit. Now again, this does not mean there's no tornado threat here for the rest of this storm's life or even the rest of the night. This does not mean that by any means. We actually could still see a potential for a tornado here as this continues to track down to the east southeast. Another key thing though, again, is gonna be the hail. So let's go over to the hail here real quick. We'll go to the hail radar. And we'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on in terms of the hail. Again, it's kind of more on the northern side of the storm. This is the estimate in terms of hail. So this is the latest. So currently the radar is estimating around nickel sized hail or so near 290. I wouldn't rule out it's a little bit larger than that, but this is the latest on the last few scans. So this is over the last 15 to 20 minutes. And right now closer to 290, just east of 99, it's closer to about half-inch sized hail, maybe slightly larger. Now again, this is an estimate, so things may be a little bit different at the ground, but it's a pretty good estimate at this point. We're at least talking about somewhere in the realm of half-inch sized hail up to about quarter sized hail with this specific storm. A bit further off to the north, this is the other storm by Huntsville, for example. This one actually could be having, or at least produced at some point, upwards of $half sized hail, and Huntsville is also a bit populated there. So another area to keep in mind here, back near Interstate 45, another potential there for a little bit larger of hailstone sizes as well. And again, this is the current wide look across the entire southeast parts of Texas and back through Louisiana. This is the warning count that we have. We have 5 total severe thunderstorm, or excuse me, 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. We also currently have at least 1 tornado warning ongoing, and beyond that, again, this is pretty widely isolated in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings. But again, this is not expected to actually get this many warnings tonight by any means. So there was only a marginal threat, pretty small area tonight along with that, so it wasn't really a major area by any means. But I've been actually mentioning this since last night. I did think we'd have a little bit of severe weather today, a little bit more than what the original forecast was from the Storm Prediction Center. But let's go back over to the live radar, and let's go to here. And we'll go back to the velocities here, and we'll stay on this for a second. We'll see what the next update here is in just a second. Hey, thank you, Joe Hamilton, for becoming a Tornado Chaser member. Hey, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for your support. Also, thank you to Conan, hopefully I'm saying your name right, for the 1 month Tornado Chaser member. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Thanks, CH. Appreciate it. We've had no recent update, by the way, on either the tornado warning or the severe thunderstorm warnings. This tornado warning goes for 4 more minutes. The severe thunderstorm warnings all vary from 4 more minutes upwards of, 45 minutes. That's kind of the range right now. So there are several warnings still ongoing currently. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. The next radar scan should be coming in here in just a moment. This is the other radar, by the way, the closer one. It doesn't go as far out, so things are a little bit harder to see. And this is also kind of a similar view here. No tight rotation here. But one thing to note here is this right in this area from 290 back through 99, these brighter reds, that is representing some damaging winds most likely ongoing. And again, that's still pretty far north and west there of Jersey Village, and also pretty far northwest still of Houston. So if you're in this area, we definitely are probably talking talking about at least some damaging winds. Let's go back down to this radar site. We'll kind of go ahead and see if there's any developments here in terms of velocities, and it does seem to be fizzling out for the time being. I wouldn't rule out that this tornado warning expires and then we possibly see a new tornado warning later on if this rotation does redevelop. It has weakened though for the most part right now, so for now I would say the tornado threat is diminishing for the time being, but again, it could very well recycle as this moves down to the south and east. And still a big concern with this is the damaging wind as well as the hail. This is probably where we're seeing the highest hail threat, is north of 290, most likely quarter-sized hail, and damaging winds is becoming a bit of a concern. And look at this, by the way, this is a little bit of an interesting feature back near 290, maybe a little inflow, so this might be able to spur up potentially a tornado concern as this continues to move down to the south and east. That is currently where the rotation is pretty minimal, but this might be something to watch for, is that little inflow notch that we do have kind of on this eastern half of the storm, which this does typically happen, by the way. With some of these storms, we do start to see some rotation once we get a bit of an inflow, so there is a little bit of an inflow going into this storm near 290, so this will be something to really be monitoring as it moves off to the north and east. Huntsville severe thunderstorm warning expires in 2 minutes. I would expect this one to expire. I don't think this will be reissued. It was originally for quarter-sized hail. This storm is weakening currently. Another warning ongoing southeast of San Antonio. This one I would assume will actually, it's still 32 minutes out, so I won't assume anything, but let's go to this one real quick. This one did have a little bit of a damaging wind threat, and it didn't seem to have too much rotation. Let's go back to this one though real quick. And this is the current live look. This one doesn't, I think, have that much rotation. I think this is more of a damaging wind threat for now. However, there is definitely a little bit of green and red mixing here, which typically, again, does mean we do have at least a little bit of broad rotation here in the upper levels. Again, that's right now north of Runge and going toward Neenum, or Nordim, if I'm saying the name right. I apologize. Hopefully I'm saying the name right there. Again, southeast of San Antonio. So those are the areas that we're watching here pretty closely. Back over to Houston, Texas. We're going to stay on this storm until this warning does expire. We'll also take a look at the Louisiana severe thunderstorm warning as well, because there's one up that direction as well. But again, this is the live look right now at the Doppler radar northeast of Houston, Texas, again in the suburbs region currently. By the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my friendly reminder, make sure to hit the like button down below to help get this out to more people that are in the track of this severe weather. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We cover all of the United States for severe weather coverage. We'll keep you posted with the latest on anything that comes your way. Again, this was a live stream that I was expecting to be only half an hour, but there's a lot of warnings out there. So we are definitely watching this pretty closely. Actually, kind of an interesting thing to point out here on this storm, this is the inflow. You can actually kind of see it here. This is a closer radar site. Doesn't go it doesn't have the functionality of the Doppler radar back down to the southeast of Houston, but this one still gives us a good idea here. This is your inflow right here going into the storm, and this is where that rotation would be near 290. If we go over to the velocities, again, I'm not seeing anything rotating right now, but this will be something to watch for, because that inflow is definitely something to watch as that moves down to the south and east. This is a bit more zoomed out, and we'll go back to this storm. So yeah, again, there's a little bit of inflow there, so if this can mature a bit, it actually could very well potentially produce a tornado threat over the long term. All right, so this tornado warning has expired. Let's go over to the warning count. We're back down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings for the time being. Let's go and take this off, and we'll go back over to the other severe thunderstorm warnings that we have. We'll also be keeping a very close eye on this storm near Houston, Texas, and I need to make sure I get this off real quick. There we go. Rotation north. We're talking about that same storm near near Huntsville. Let's see. The Huntsville storm, again, I look to be kind of weakening out here. Let's look real quick. Yeah, there's not a whole lot here. There is a little bit of maybe, I would say it's more of a very weak velocities there. It's nothing that's concerning there. That was originally a severe thunderstorm warning though here. Back up near Huntsville, but for right now I don't think there's much rotation there. Let's go hop over to the other couple of warnings that we have. We'll keep a close eye on everything that's ongoing. Back over in Louisiana, there is actually a severe thunderstorm warning up this direction. Look at this nasty storm. This is very discreet. This is back near Hall Summit. This is moving off to the east toward Edgefield, and it's moving at about 30 miles per hour. This is producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and also a little bit of quarter-sized hail. This is the velocities here, and there is very limited rotation, I'd say here. I'm not seeing anything that defined here. If we go a little bit, yeah, again, there's nothing defined for right now, but this is an interesting looking storm. It does have a little bit of a hook shape back up here in Louisiana, moving currently off to the east, again, east of Mansfield and southeast of Shreveport. So if you're included in this warning, get away from windows. But interesting little shape here, very small supercell as well. This is not big by any means. If we kind of go, this is 5 miles, so only about 4 miles to the north and east right now. That's about it. This is not a very large supercell here, but it is definitely a pretty impressive looking cell here. It has that little hook shape going off to the east and east northeast, but I would say that this storm has probably a lower chance of a tornado threat. The low level jet is much weaker up here to the north, but I wouldn't rule out that this does at least produce some sort of damaging wind component as that moves off to the east. Impressive looking cell though. All right, let's go back down here to the south and west. This is the other storm back down near San Antonio, or southeast of San Antonio. This one will also be something to watch as it moves down to the south and east. This does have some very broad rotation. The latest radar scan is going to be coming in here in just a second as well, so we'll be watching that closely along with that. This is the DeWitt County, by the way, severe thunderstorm warning back near Texas, So this one's producing 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds along with quarter-sized hail right now, and it is currently moving off to the south and east. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. Is this effects of the bomb cyclone? That's actually a pretty good question. I'm pretty sure that this system is not directly correlated with that. And this is a bit more, let's kind of just put out the entire radar here. Let me zoom out of this and let's do that. So this is the current system. This is all associated with a pretty weak, it's a pretty small scale. I wouldn't say it's a weak trough, but it's a pretty small scale trough. It's really only impacting the southern tier of the United States, and it's bringing pretty minimal overall severe weather and as well as flooding threat. This is bringing a very low flooding threat to the lower Mississippi Valley over the next 24 hours, but there's no big direct correlation from the bomb cyclones per se. It's not at least as intense by any means from what the bomb cyclone produced back over in California. And California, by the way, is going to continue to get hammered over the next several days from these bomb cyclone, or from the not the bomb cyclone, from the strong atmospheric rivers, essentially the Pineapple Express. It's just going to continue all the way through this upcoming week. And going into tomorrow night into Monday is when winds will really pick up, along with a lot of rain. So it's going to be pretty active over there in California over the next several days. Man, I had a whole stream on that the other day, and man, it is unbelievable what they're seeing there. It's very, very crazy. I mean, San Francisco has already almost seen 8 inches of rain, and they're going to see an additional possibility for upwards of half a foot of rain. So it's just going to continue there. So it's pretty remarkable there, without a doubt. Yeah, this is an insane storm. If we go back up here to this storm back over in Louisiana, this is the one back up here. This is a pretty impressive looking. It's a very small cell, but it's pretty incredible what the shape is on this one. I think we actually just got a radar update on this one. Go ahead and put the radar back on here. This is a pretty impressive looking storm, without a doubt. East of Interstate 49 back over in Louisiana. And again, this storm definitely has a pretty nice little hook shape. The next radar scan is coming in right now. Yeah, there we go. So this is the look of the cell right now. Again, a little bit of quarter-sized hail here. It's a very small diameter of where this is covering. It's a very, very small area, but it is definitely impressive, this little hook shape. I'm not seeing anything in terms of velocities really that much right now. The wind's going towards the radar, which are those green colors. It's not much. It isn't bright enough. It isn't really much of anything to be notable. The winds are obviously not that strong going towards the radar. Going away from the radar, it's a bit of a different story. So if the winds can get a bit stronger going towards the radar, this might be something to watch. But for right now, it is a very, very tiny supercell. I've actually not really seen this small of a cell in quite a while. This is a pretty tiny for being a severe thunderstorm warning. Not just that, it's definitely has a pretty impressive little hook shape for how small it is. All right, let's go back down here to the south and east. Let's go back to Houston for a second. We're going to see if the storm has changed at all in the last few minutes. Again, the tornado warning expired 5 minutes ago for the areas northwest of Houston. This was originally a tornado warned cell. This is a look at the storm right now, and this is all the rain kind of on the north half of the cell here. This was originally where we did have a bit of an inflow going into the storm. Let's go back over to the velocities again real quick. And yeah, it's pretty broad right now. The winds have definitely died down quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a severe thunderstorm warning, though, on the northern half of this storm here. This is at least some higher winds. I would at least expect gusty winds between 40 to 50 miles per hour here, but I wouldn't say this is anything in the realm of being, tornadic right now. This is definitely a storm that is weakened out quite a bit, which is great news, by the way. I mean, this was a storm that was posing a threat towards areas like Jersey Village and potentially Houston in the long term, and it will be, by the way. You guys are still getting hit by this same cell, so we'll have to watch the evolution of this storm as it moves to the south and east, because again, Jersey Village and Houston will be in the direct path of this, and I would expect the potential for maybe some of those lower elevations to see some isolated flash flooding, because there's definitely going to be some heavy rain in this cell. We could be talking upwards of 1 inch per hour with how heavy this rainfall is. Maybe a little bit of small hail, by the way, back near 90, in between 99 and 290 here, so this little area, again, northwest of Jersey Village, possibly a little bit as well, just to the northwest of Jersey Village as well. We got a couple of little pockets there of some small hailstones, but both of them definitely posing their own concerns and threats. This is the other storm back down northwest of Victoria. This was another one that had very broad rotation, and I'm not seeing anything too crazy here. I'm really more concerned about the wind threat with this storm as it continues to move down to the south and east towards Yorktown, as well as areas possibly near Victoria later on. This is a storm maybe watch for more of a damaging wind threat right now. This is also a region that doesn't have an overly strong low-level jet in comparison to Houston. It's a bit stronger over there, hence why there was a bit more rotation with that cell to begin with. And same thing with Louisiana. It's much weaker rotation there due to the fact the low-level jet and overall the rotation even in the mid-levels is not that strong today. That's a big reason why there's not much of a tornado threat today in comparison to what we're seeing in terms of severe weather right now. So those are the big really things that are ongoing right now here across the southern half right now of Texas, as well as back over into Louisiana. Hey, thank you, Joe, for also becoming a hurricane chaser member. I appreciate you upgrading, and you just became a tornado chaser member. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks. Appreciate the support. All right, if you have any chat questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. We'll be live here for a little bit. We'll be kind of monitoring the weather as it continues to evolve. Again, we have a lot of different or various warnings. Again, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We started the stream with almost 6 thunderstorm. We had 4 severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning. We are now down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We also have 2 flash flood warnings. So again, fairly active, to say the least. And this is expected, by the way, all this rain that's kind of extending from about San Antonio back through actually Alabama right now. But obviously the severe weather threat for today, this is the outlook that the Storm Prediction Center had. It's pretty small. It's just a marginal threat of severe weather. I don't believe there's a tornado threat with this. Let me just double check that. And yeah, there's no tornado threat given with this threat, which I did think there would at least be a very low chance of at least some sort of spin up, which hence 2% probability. It's already very low. Going even lower than that, obviously that little spin up there probably kind of sits in the realm of probably no marginal threat. But yeah, that's what we're looking at there. So a very outlying severe thunderstorm warning back up in Louisiana right now. And that storm again is discrete. That's the main reason why this storm is severe. It's a bit more discrete than these other cells. And if we go back to this storm real quick, let's go and kind of zoom back on this. We'll put on the high def radar and see what happened with this storm over the last few minutes. This is a look at that storm right now near Edgefield. It is pretty impressive. It's moving off to the east, and again, it's a very impressive cell here. Let me real quick change the title of this stream so it's not tornado warning near Houston. Change the title. There we go. Thanks, Supercell. Appreciate it. We're almost at 300 likes. If you've not already, make sure to hit the like button down below. Also, if you're new here, a friendly reminder, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Again, we are always covering severe weather events here across the United States, including Texas. Texas is one of the big states that I almost always cover severe weather. So again, if you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Again, this page originates from North Texas, so we always cover Texas weather. I tried to go live for as many Texas severe weather events as possible. I'm very familiar with the region. And even Louisiana. I've actually gotten pretty familiar with Louisiana over the last several months with all the severe weather that's happened here and all the way back through Alabama, Mississippi, and some of the names are kind of hard to pronounce sometimes, but we're trying our best. Back over to the velocities real quick on this cell, back near Edgefield. Again, I'm not seeing anything that impressive here that indicates that we have an ongoing area of even strong rotation or anything like that. This is a pretty a mild storm overall. The only thing that really is any concern right now is going to be that damaging wind concern. These are your winds going away from the radar, going towards Edgefield, and here are the winds going towards the radar, which there is none existent. So even though it does have that hook shape and a little bit maybe even inflow as well, it is a very tiny cell, and it is actually kind of weakening out. I would expect this does not get rewarned unless it kind of intensifies, but this is definitely a weakening cell right now. Moving down to the east and as well as the east-southeast towards Edgefield right now there in Louisiana. We have a few other storms throughout Louisiana as well, a couple near 171 near Many, and as well as Zewali, if I'm saying the name right. Couple of storms there, maybe producing some gusty winds or maybe even a little bit of small hail. A few other storms back up near Jasper. This was a region that saw a tornado warning this past week. This storm's producing gusty winds of 30 miles per hour. Nothing severe here by any means, but definitely a lot of rainfall without a doubt. Back near Houston, Texas, another area that we'll be watching for this storm as it tracks down to the southeast, going towards Houston, Jersey Village, and a few other areas near Interstate 45. This is a little cell, or not really a little cell, but at least it's a bit on the weaker side than what it once was in terms of the tornadic cell. This does still have the possibility to re-strengthen though. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. This definitely has a possibility to maybe intensify a little bit as it moves to the south and east towards areas like Houston, Texas. The rotation on this storm again has not really gone away. It's very well broadened out for the last several minutes, but I would not be surprised if this does try to strengthen a little bit as it approaches Houston. Again, it's a very slow moving storm. It's only moving at about 15 miles per hour. So areas like Houston probably won't see the storm. I would actually expect for another hour. I said an hour about 30 minutes ago, but this storm is moving just so slowly. It's moving at snail's pace right now. So it's not really a quick moving cell, but it has that possibility for maybe developing a little bit of rotation. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. The winds as well are definitely gonna be a bit stronger, possibly upwards of 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts are not out of the question as this does continue to track down to the south and east. We do have a couple of flash flood warnings, by the way, ongoing. Town names are on the left side of your screen, and this warning does expire at about midnight tonight. That is north of Shiner. It also includes areas like Whitting, as well as Moulton. Those are the main locations included right now in that ongoing flash flood warning. Another one north of Columbus as well, and kind of on the northern half there of Columbus, north of Interstate 10, that is west of Houston. That goes for another 15 minutes, so a little bit of flash flooding in some lower lying areas. And this is the other severe thunderstorm warning ongoing back near Yorktown, which this one does have a little bit of hail back near 119, by the way. At least some $quarter to $half sized hail is definitely in the picture here with this storm. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation by any means. This is a very, very overall weak sort of rotation that we're seeing near Yorktown, near 119, and near Nordheim. Those are the areas, again, included in this warning. But this is going to be moving down to the south and east. I would not rule out a new severe thunderstorm warning in the next few minutes there for maybe Yorktown, as this is tracking slightly further to the east than before. So something to watch for pretty closely here. Yeah, I don't make bloopers, guys. I'm a perfectionist here. All the members would know by all the bloopers videos that we have. We have only 2. You guys, actually, you know what's funny is that the last 4 or 5 months now, I have made approximately 800 different video clips. I'm not sure if Rogue is here, but Rogue might be my next video, or might actually be my video editor here pretty soon. But funny enough, I currently have about 800 or 900 different video clips all in my videos file. Most of them are between 3 seconds to like 5 minutes, and there are so many bloopers, it's not even funny. I just don't have time to make a bloopers video, but I literally can make a 20-minute bloopers video. It's pretty incredible. All right, let's see if we have any questions here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. Houston, again, is an area that we're watching pretty closely. We're actually going to go back to the Houston storm here for a few minutes. Because, again, this one is still pretty much going here. It has that chance to maybe redevelop. It's not really organized, though. That's the only problem. And this is where, again, hail is possible. We have a couple of spots of maybe a bit of hail northwest of Houston in the suburbs. So we'll be watching that here pretty closely. I have a great radio voice. If my meteorology thing doesn't go through, we're going to be going toward the sports casting field. That's actually that has been my backup plan, by the way, is going towards the sports casting if I have to, but obviously I don't think I will have to. I'd rather do meteorology. I do enjoy calling sports though. It's kind of a fun thing to do. When will I get my glasses adjusted? Probably never. I've had these for about 6 or 8 months now, and I still have not adjusted them. So we're kind of in that stage right now. Maybe at some point, I don't know. It's been kind of a slugfest trying to figure out when I'm going to adjust these glasses, because they bug me as much as you guys. I mean, it's annoying, but I just haven't had time. My National Weather Service radar is showing white and purple. That looks like hail. For which storm? Are you talking about the one near Houston? Some color tables vary. Again, this is basically what you're seeing on this map are color tables. This is not a set in stone color guide in terms of radars. You can change this to whatever you really want. And this is kind of the one I prefer anyways. The red usually indicates heavy rain. Pink and anything above pink usually does indicate at least some sort of hail threat. And that's what we're seeing here. Again, these little black colors that you're seeing here are typically around, if not above, quarter-sized hail. And it does vary on occasion and, you know, whatnot. These are reflectivity values, so it's nothing's perfect here, but this is typically what I like going off of. But every radar does vary. There are, I'm aware of there being some radars that actually show blue and white and even pink. I mean, they're kind of all over the place there. There's a lot of different ones. So there are definitely some varying for sure. We do have a hail report, by the way, coming out of Huntsville. Just a little heads up there. Huntsville did see a hailstorm about 30 minutes ago. There was a report at 10 o'clock tonight, or at least that's when the report has been backtracked to when that storm was there. In Walker County, there was some quarter-sized hail. Actually, there could have been upwards of golf ball-sized hail at this storm, which I did mention this. That storm looked to have larger hail than the warning mentioned, but there was a mix of what appeared to be 1-inch hail to up to golf ball-sized hail. That is near the Veterans Memorial Parkway. So definitely something that I mentioned there. There was at least some larger hail there. And that definitely looks like it panned out to be there in Huntsville. So hopefully everybody brought in their cars tonight. Obviously, it was not much of a threat tonight to begin with in terms of severe weather. But, you know, hopefully took the proper precautions regardless, even though it was a pretty low-end threat here across the southeast Texas area tonight. This is the latest radar scan back over again near areas near Nordeem as well as near Yorktown. Again, the potential for some hail exists primarily in this area, upwards of quarter size. Areas near Yorktown may get a new severe thunderstorm warning as this storm does track a bit further to the east over the next several minutes. So we'll be watching that closely here. In Houston, we're kind of used to crazy weather. Houston does see some pretty wild weather, and North Texas does too. North Texas, I would say, is more wild than Houston, to be honest. I covered North Texas for a while. They always seem to get a variety of different weather all the time, and there's, you know, it goes from Arctic blast to severe weather the next week. What we just saw back in the end of December, it was like in the teens, and then the following week we're all the way up into like the 70s and near 80 in some spots. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was such a crazy turnaround for temperatures. It was unbelievable. Pretty crazy to say the least. Pineapple Express. Pineapple Express is the a lot of people think the Pineapple Express I'm referring to as like the movie or the pineapple on pizza or something like that. I'm like, no, it's an actual meteorology term. Same thing with bomb cyclone. People are like, this is so dramatic, but it's actually it's an actual meteorology term. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued back over to the south and west of Houston, back near Victoria. Let me find a radar site that's nearby. This is the latest on this severe thunderstorm warning. I just mentioned this a couple of minutes ago. We'll probably get a new one for Yorktown, and it has officially happened. Yorktown, Thomaston, as well as Myersville and Bruneau. I apologize for not mispronouncing those names. But that is a new severe thunderstorm warning here. That is going to be going off to the east for Yorktown. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm. This warning goes for an hour and 10 minutes. So quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds will be possible as this does track out to the east over the next 60 to 90 minutes. And this is the latest on the velocities. And if we kind of match this up, again, it's very weak rotation if anything does exist here, but I wouldn't really be that concerned about rotation. And more than anything, I would say the hail is playing more of a factor into what those the velocity colors look like on here. But I would say that this is not really a rotating cell here near Yorktown, but as it tracks off to the east, I wouldn't rule out that this does maybe intensify maybe a little bit, but we're kind of in a region where the low level jet is much weaker than areas again like Houston. I feel like the low level jet back near Houston is a smidge stronger, and overall the mid level rotation as well is a bit stronger over that direction. So I would definitely say a bit further off to the east and northeast, we're definitely talking about maybe a bit more of a primed environment for severe weather. Quick update on the Louisiana severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, near Martin. I'm not sure if anything's really changed on this storm. I'm pretty sure it was weakening out, and this is the latest. It is such a tiny cell. I have really never seen such a small cell in a severe thunderstorm warning. This is about 2, maybe 3 miles to the north and east. It's so tiny, and that's again in Edgefield back near Martin. It is a very tiny severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is the rotation, which there is non-existent. The wind threat has definitely died out on this storm, so if anything's remaining, it's a little bit of hail in this very tiny sector west of Martin. But pretty impressive that, you know, this thing has been alive for so long. It is discrete, so it does have a bit of an advantage, or competitive advantage, with that cell in comparison to the other ones around it, which are a bit more of the linear variety. Back near Houston, this is the latest on this current storm. It's a bit more on the strong side right now. I am not seeing anything currently that represents strong rotation, or any rotation really in general. This is a storm, though, that could redevelop as it moves down to the south and east. And I would say more of a wind threat, though, for sure right now. You can see the winds that are becoming a bit stronger here coming out of the north and west. This definitely could be indicating a little bit of some stronger winds. I wish I could go ahead and put the actual velocities on. The winds are, I think, upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour with this right now. So I wouldn't rule out we get a severe thunderstorm warning on this near Jersey Village. It definitely has a bit more of a wind threat as that continues to move off to the east. But again, this is a very, very slow moving storm. And this is going at snail's pace, or turtle's pace, whatever you want to go by. But it's very slow. This is going at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And even with that tornado warning, the rotation for the most part over about a 30-minute span was all in this area. It barely went anywhere. So you can only imagine this is probably not going to reach Houston for at least another hour. I would anticipate, though, that there's going to be a lot of lightning with this storm. So if we go over to the lightning maps, I'm going to pull that up on my other monitor. I'm going to see how much lightning is actually in this storm. Actually, over in California, off the coast, there's lightning. So if you're in California, a little heads up there. Back north of Houston, the current amount of lightning per minute is 160. 160 right now, northwest of Houston, Texas. That is insane. There is a lot of lightning with this storm right now. Man, that is actually insane. So this storm right now is producing upwards of 160 strikes per minute. That is a lot of lightning, by the way. That's about at least 2 strikes per second. I'm not sure if we have any live cams there, but I mean, that's actually incredible. That is a lot of lightning for this sort of storm. Wow. Man, that's a lot of lightning. I'm not gonna lie. You know, these storms are, you know, pretty. This one, for example, has been pretty strong. This is the one that was tornadic at one point. It had a tornado warning, and yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked that this is producing that much lightning right now. So if you're watching right now in Jersey Village or Houston, let me know if you're seeing the bright skies off to the distance, because I'm kind of curious. That's a lot of lightning. That's actually more lightning than what we've seen with some of these other severe weather events. That's quite remarkable. All right, yeah, I don't see any live cams on right now. Lots of lightning in Humble. Isn't that further to the north? Can't remember. Yeah, it's back up here, isn't it? Yeah, that's just off to the east of this storm right now. And I would be honestly kind of thinking that this is getting a severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, at some point. This is at least some hail, possibly upwards of quarter size. But on the other hand, the winds were definitely picking up on this. This is the current look. I would at least expect a special weather statement at the bare minimum, if not a severe thunderstorm warning for the wind threat, and along with maybe some quarter-sized hail as well. There's definitely some ongoing threats here just west of Jersey Village, so. By the way, if you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you're new here. Again, we do live coverage across the entire United States, and by subscribing, you are able to ask questions in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to make sure to hit the subscribe button, and you can ask those. I'll try to answer as many as possible. Also, make sure to like the live stream if you've not already. It's free to do, and it helps get this out to more people that are in the track of these ongoing storms here in Texas. And again, this one's going towards Houston right now, so we'll keep a close eye on it. We also have a couple of little cells developing just south of Houston. This is the, we're going to go kind of over the last little bit here. I'm going to kind of just do a little loop for a second. These storms are moving a bit more off to the north. This is associated with more of the moisture that is coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Let me put it on a brighter color here, but this is the moisture that's actually coming out of the Gulf of Mexico here. This is all the other storm activity that is shifting off to the east along the frontal boundary. So that is kind of the difference in terms of these cells right now. These are very minuscule, though. I mean, we're not talking about anything that's significant with these cells coming out of the Gulf of Mexico for the most part. But yeah, these storms are dealing with a lot less in terms of just the overall setup. And yeah, this is not a day where there should be significant severe weather, but they are very small at this point. The dew points, though, are really helping these storms. The dew points are varying from the mid 60s in Houston all the way back near 70 degrees near Lake Jackson, which is back down actually where those storms are forming. And since there's just so much moisture available in the atmosphere today, that is why we're seeing these little cells right now coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, or at least developing just north of the Gulf of Mexico. So there's a couple of little cells there, not really any lightning with those for the most part, just downpours. But I would expect, again, this storm here again near Houston is producing an insane amount of lightning right now. Upwards of 150 strikes per minute is ongoing with this cell as it continues to track out to the east and east southeast. Again, this is what we saw before in terms of the warnings as well. Back around 9:50 to about 10:20, that sort of time frame is when we had that tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning. So that is what you're seeing on the warning map here. These are not ongoing warnings, but again, pretty impressive here to say the least. Let me actually go over to here and just put that on so no confusions there. Most boring state ever is Maryland. Okay. I don't think I've ever really been to Maryland. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, stay safe, Kenneth. Stay away from windows, by the way. If you're anywhere in Houston, once this storm does approach a bit closer, I would recommend that you do stay away from windows just due to the nature. I honestly do think this is at least producing some sort of hail threat right now in some fashion, whether that's quarter-sized hail or some sort of smaller-sized hailstones. I'm at least thinking there's some sort of hail here near Houston, or just north of west of Houston in the suburbs. But more concerningly, damaging winds is definitely a possibility with this storm. This is the current velocities, and these are some high winds I'd be assuming here near Jersey Village. And if we go back over to the other radar site, a bit further away, very, very hard to see anything really on this radar. It's definitely much more difficult since it's not really, it doesn't have all the features as a main radar like that back down southeast of Houston. But this one does give us an indication that there's really no rotation here right now. It's more of a wind concern, if anything, and it's primarily near 6 right now. And in addition to that, if we go back over to this one, let's go and put the hail radar on, and we will see what the hail looks like on this storm northwest of Houston, because I am curious if this has actually evolved into anything quite yet. Now, the hail radar is delayed by about 5 minutes, so it's not going to be exact here, but this is actually the latest estimates. It does indicate somewhere near quarter-sized hail, and there you go. There's now a severe thunderstorm warning. Currently issued now for Jersey Village and near Houston, Texas. So brand new severe thunderstorm warning, and I've been mentioning this. I was really waiting for it. But new severe thunderstorm warning here for those northwest of Houston, Texas. Quarter-sized hail is currently the main threat with this storm. Winds are a factor with this, but for right now, there is no direct wind concern above 50 miles per hour, at least outlined by the National Weather Service down here in Houston. So again, new severe thunderstorm warning for those in Jersey Village. It also includes all the locations that will be on the left side of your screen. There are a lot of locations in this warning. It does include areas in Katy, Tomball, Jersey Village, Bunker Hill Village, Spring Branch North, Eldridge, West Oaks, Greater Greens Point, Spring Branch West, Addicks Park, as well as Spring Valley, Mission Bend, Hillshire Village, and I'm not going to name all of them, but Langwood, as well as Willowbrook and the Hooks Airport. Those are really the main areas included again in this warning. So if you're anywhere in the surrounding area, be aware there's the potential right now for quarter-sized hail. I would not rule out upwards of half-dollar-sized hail with this storm as it continues to track down to the south and east. And a friendly reminder, there was upwards of golf ball-sized hail near Huntsville with a storm that was kind of similar to this. So it's not out of the question. We have slightly larger hailstones here with this sort of storm. But again, this is an ongoing brand new severe thunderstorm warning moving down to the south and east towards Houston, and it is also not just producing hail, it is producing an insane amount of lightning. We are seeing upwards of potentially 150 strikes per minute from just this one supercell. So there's a lot of lightning without a doubt here. So again, make sure that you are staying away from windows and do not go outside by any means. There very well could be some cloud to ground lightning with this as it moves down to the south and east. Another update, by the way, kind of just an overall general view here. This is in Harris County, Texas, for those that are tuning in right now, northwest of Houston. So very dangerous storm right now, moving down to the south and east, potentially producing some quarter-sized hail. All right. Thank you, by the way, for everybody subscribing. I do appreciate it. I can't name off all the names tonight, but I do appreciate it. If you've not already, make sure to, again, subscribe tonight, or you can really do whatever, but we're only 23 subscribers from 30,200, and we, again, do forecasts all across the United States, and we will, again, we are really well focused in Texas in terms of severe weather, so if you ever have any sort of need for severe weather coverage, we will have your back. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and like the stream as well, so this gets out to more people in the track of these storms. We are keeping an extremely close eye on this storm. This was tornado warned at one point, so it does have a bit of a history of at least having some rotation. Maybe not a tornado per se, but it definitely has a history of rotation, and this will definitely be something to watch as it moves down to the south and east. Brand new flash flood warning, by the way, just issued for Jasper back over in southeast Texas. Also includes Chester, Rockland, and a few other locations. Just a little heads up, make sure you're avoiding flooded roadways. Turn around, don't drown is the saying, or the motto, whatever you want to go by there. And again, that is an area that we are currently noticing at least some rising waters in some areas due to how much rain has fallen there. There's been a lot of rain there in Jasper, along with several other locations as well. It's not just Jasper. I mean, we've seen a lot of rainfall, even west of Houston, by the way, seen some areas with upwards of a 1 inch per hour rainfall rate. So there's been a lot of rain out there without a doubt here tonight. And that will obviously continue here with all the rain that continues to push down to the east and southeast, especially near Houston. This is another area, again, that we're watching a pretty huge storm that is also not just producing a lot of lightning, but a lot of rainfall as well. So definitely a couple of concerning features there right now. Carly, nothing going on in South Carolina right now. Nope, nothing severe. There will be a possibility for some showers or maybe a couple of storms, I believe, going into... I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or the following day. It's not going to be that, it won't be really significant, but there is a possibility for a little bit of rain action at some point in the upcoming couple of days. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. I'll get to a few of them here. Let's actually real quick put a timing guide on this storm. It is moving at, again, turtle's pace, so it is not moving very quickly. So I'm just gonna make that disclaimer right now. This is not a quick moving storm by any means, so it's not gonna go very far. This is like the furthest I can really put it right now. So this is the timing. Again, you might be surprised with the timing on here. Actually, let me I have to be really precise with this because of how really slow it is. So let me try to be very, very precise here. I do believe the northern half of the storm is much quicker moving. This might take a little second here to try to get a really precise measurement here. We're gonna go ahead and do this. So do it very close to the storm. We're gonna do it about 13 miles per hour. We'll do that. So timing is estimated. Jersey Village, we'll probably be hit quicker. I'm not sure if it's 10 miles per hour. I think it's more like 15. We're gonna up that a little bit. Kind of going off the computer model estimate. We'll do that right here. We'll do 18. So this is a general estimate for timing. Houston's projected for almost 11 o'clock. I would expect it's there much earlier, honestly. And actually the timing is glitched out. Let me restart this program real quick. It'll take 2 seconds. The timing is actually delayed by 30 minutes, which is why we're getting funky times here on the timing. Give me 1 second here. We will go ahead and relaunch the program. That's actually really strange. I was about to say the timing, I was like, I don't think that's right. Let's try this again. If it doesn't work, we can just do last resort and kind of give you a bit more of a general time standpoint with something else, but go and do this again. No, it's still glitching out. So Jersey Village will be within the next 5 minutes. It's not going to be at 11:16. Houston is going to be probably in about, we can give a general estimate, probably in about 45 minutes to an hour. And southeast parts of Houston, probably in about an hour and a half or so. So Houston, Texas, just a general timing, around 11:30 is when this will probably arrive. I do apologize. It's actually not working on the software. I don't know why. But that is the latest on that right now. So again, moving down to the south and east, Houston will be in the track of this. Again, timing is really funky. I'm not sure why it's glitched out like that. But maybe if we try this, I don't know if this will make a difference. Try this real quick. No, it's still the same thing. So unfortunately, the timing is broken. So we'll just have to live with it. So again, this is currently moving down to the south and east towards Houston. Aldine is also in the track of this. And again, Hedwig Village and Jersey Village right now is in the immediate track of this. So if you're in Jersey Village, make sure you're getting away from windows. $quarter to $half sized hail and wind gusts will be possible here. That is your wind right now near Jersey Village, moving down to the south and east. It'll eventually approach areas near Interstate 10, Interstate 45, and Interstate 610 around the Houston region over the next several minutes. We'll be watching that pretty closely here. Let's go back over to here and we will put this on. Thank you, by the way, Tyler, Spirit, Dennis, Rick, for all subscribing. I do appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Appreciate everybody subscribing. Is this storm likely to cause loss of power? I actually would expect power outages with this, guy. So if you're in the Houston area, you know anybody in this area, give, again, your friends, your family, whatever, a heads up. There will probably be at least some power outages with this. It won't be widespread by any means, but I would expect some just due to how much lightning there is. Now, so far, we've not had any reports of lightning or any power outages that have been significant. The largest power outage actually so far in this region has been like very, very minimalistic. Like 36 is actually the highest, which is actually pretty surprising with how much lightning this has. But I would anticipate at least some sort of at least isolated power outages with this. It won't be widespread by any means, but if you're in the Houston area, just make sure you have your flashlights charged, or at least have batteries in them and whatnot. Have your phones and stuff charged up just in case. I wouldn't expect these to be like elongated power outages if there were to be any, but I wouldn't run a few power outages with this. More localized than anything as well. This is nothing in comparison to what we've seen with certain severe storms. This isn't like a tornado warned storm by any means that's producing like a tornado right now. Tornadoes obviously produce power outages, but this is not a storm where I would expect significant power outages. The only way I would expect it is if somehow some lightning or either the wind picks up there. So those are the two main ways there would be power outages with this, which I'm not seeing a whole lot of wind. Lightning, though, has been pretty extreme with this, so I wouldn't rule out that the lightning really gets with this one as it continues to move down to the south and east. Current lightning right now with this storm, by the way, the latest update for the Houston area, still upwards. Actually, this is the latest update, still around 70 strikes per minute, so a little bit less than before, but there is still a lot of lightning with this storm heading towards Houston. The entire state of Texas right now in terms of lightning, if you want a general estimate, is actually about 100 strikes per minute. That ranges from Jasper, Texas, all the way back through areas northwest of Victoria, Texas. So there's around 1 strike per minute with this storm right now as it continues to march down to the south and east. So we'll be, again, watching this very closely as it does approach the Houston area. All right, let me back over to here. Scroll down for more Texas. Here's the current look at Texas. And again, you might be a little bit confused. Why is there showers down here or even downpours, possibly a rumble of thunder? We have 2 separate areas of rain and storm activity right now. So this is our main area that's along the cold frontal boundary. This right here is the shower activity, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder that's coming from all the moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. So these storms here are moving more east or east-southeast. The other ones coming out of the Gulf right now are moving much more just directly to the north. So those in Houston, if you're in like the southern portions of Houston right now, there's more likely of a chance than not that you're at least seeing some sort of shower activity, if not maybe a little storm. This little shower, by the way, south of Missouri City, might actually become a little bit stronger as it moves off to the north. So we'll have to watch that closely. I wouldn't rule out a strong storm with one of these as it moves off to the north, but it's definitely not very high threat here. Another thing to kind of keep in mind here, again, I've mentioned the little inflow that we've had with this storm. It is very small, not overly organized either, but if we go over to the velocities, again, we do have that little inflow. Very, very weak rotation, though. There's really no rotation at all right now because of how weak the winds are. This is where the strongest winds are, and they're well away from any of that inflow there. So there's no correlation right now in terms of velocities and whatnot with this storm. So I'm not seeing, again, anything directly that is showing that there will be a tornado in the short term. But, again, I wouldn't rule it out. The storm originally did not look like it was going to produce any sort of tornadic threat about an hour and a half ago. All of a sudden, it started rapidly intensifying with some rotation. Whether it produced a tornado is kind of a question mark. I think it may have for a brief moment back near 290 and 99, that little intersection there, but it's hard to tell. We didn't have any reports quite yet of that, but this storm, again, is something to watch as it continues to move down to the south and east towards Houston, Texas. Right. Also, we're only 66 likes away currently from 500. If you've not already, make sure to hit the like button down below. It is free to do, by the way. It helps get this out to more people that are in the track of this given storm and any of the other storms that we have ongoing right now here across Texas and even back through Louisiana. So make sure to hit that like button down below, and also make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not already. We are currently about 3 subscribers from 30,200. So if you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Again, we do live coverage across the entire United States for severe weather just like this. All right, let's see. You look into Houston, yeah, so anywhere in Houston right now, you're going to be in the track of this within the next about, I would say 45 minutes is the ETA. And that really includes anywhere in this Houston metro. I mean, really, I can't put an actual time guide on this. For some reason, it's glitching out on the software. But Houston specifically will probably be hit by this in about 45 minutes or so. So if you're in Houston, just a little heads up, again, about 45 minutes or so until this reaches your location. That's an estimated right now time of arrival, but again, if you're in Houston right now, I would definitely anticipate that you see this within about 45 minutes or so. Real quick, I'm going to give you an update on the storm back northwest of Victoria. We haven't really checked on this for about 15 minutes. This is the storm right now ongoing, producing quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The rotation, there's not really any rotation with this to begin with. The winds are dying down a bit, so this is becoming more of a hail threat, if anything, near Yorktown. So if you're northwest of Victoria, heads up, there is definitely a little bit of quarter-sized hail right now. So if you're in that region, definitely make sure you're aware of that. But otherwise, we're really mainly paying attention to this storm back over here in Houston. By the way, we actually have another severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. We're going to go to this one real quick. This is back over into areas south of the Shreveport area. So this is actually near Clarence and Campty. This is actually looking like a pretty strong and maybe even a bit more of a severe storm here near 49. Look at that hail core that we're seeing moving off to the east-northeast. No rotation with this. There may be some high winds, though, just west of Interstate 49. But if you're in Louisiana, heads up. There's definitely a pretty good chance here that we have some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour heading towards Interstate 49. So if you're a truck driver, heads up. Make sure to take the proper precautions as the storm approaches the interstate. In addition to that, there is definitely some quarter-sized hail, maybe even a little bit larger than that, as the storm continues to march out to the east-northeast. This is the estimated hail by radar as well, and this red right here is indicating some quarter-sized hail that just crossed over 485, and this will continue to move off to the north and east. So again, hail threat is definitely up there for those along the interstate as that storm continues to move off to the north and east. And in comparison, by the way, the storm near Houston, Texas is also producing some quarter-sized hail. This red is indicating quarter-sized hail here within the last 15 minutes. And there's likely at least been some sort of quarter-sized hail along Highway 290. Moving towards Houston, again, if you're in Houston, there is definitely a chance for some hail with this storm as it continues to track down to the south and east. Jersey Village right now should be getting impacted by some hail concern, or at least some sort of hail threat within the next few minutes. And we are nowhere near the right radar site. Let's go back to this one. And yeah, this is Jersey Village right now. So if any hail is currently still ongoing, it is right now over Jersey Village. Otherwise, we're talking about a lot of heavy rainfall. Sheets of rain are likely falling, gonna drop visibility on the roadways pretty substantially as well. So this storm will continue to again move down to the south and east towards Houston, Texas over the next several minutes. So we'll be watching that again very closely. Hey, Gene, how you doing? Welcome back. How's your day going? Hail's coming down just inside Beltway 8. Thank you for the report. So we have a report from the chat, again, unconfirmed. There's been some hail reported there near the Beltway 8. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but I appreciate the report. Is this Beltway 8 right here? Guessing that's what that is. So that's, again, near Jersey Village, actually, right now. So I'm assuming that's kind of the region. It's either near Jersey Village or it's kind of back near 249. Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you, April. Okay, so we have confirmed reports of hail now, currently near Jersey Village and back near the Beltway 8. I was not sure it's called the Beltway 8. And these the road names, I wish I could actually kind of nail them down a bit better here in Houston. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. No problem at all. Again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning right now back up in Louisiana that we are monitoring more for a quarter-sized hail threat. This is the one northwest of Houston. We're going to zoom back out so you get a general idea of where we are in comparison to where Houston is. So again, northwest suburbs right now of Houston is where that severe thunderstorm warning is ongoing. For quarter-sized hail. Damaging wind threat is not really anything right now. The wind has been pretty subtle for the most part. There's some gusts maybe in there, maybe a little bit of gusty winds between 20 to 35 miles per hour, but there's nothing that is indicating right now that we are seeing some sort of massive wind threat right now. There is a very tiny inflow on this storm, so there's still a chance that a tornado threat may develop as this moves down to the south and east, but it does seem like a pretty low threat right now. And again, the tornado threat was not expected to be anything really that high today. In fact, there was no threat even given by the Storm Prediction Center, but more of a spin-up concern, I would say, more than anything. And I think we may have seen a brief tornado with this a little while ago, back near 99 as well as near 290. But again, I can't confirm that. We've had no confirmation of that yet. So, oh, we had a confirmed tornado. This is it looks like Actually, we don't have a confirmed tornado, not with this storm right now that's ongoing, but possibly a tornado from earlier. Let's go and pull this up real quick. This is from Jake on Twitter. Look at this right here. This is a lowering for sure. Again, we can't really confirm if there's a tornado here, but look at that lowering out there in the distance. It's kind of blurry, but that is, again, that lowering right there from earlier. And look how much lightning there was, by the way, with this storm at the time of the tornado warning. That is actually insane. This was again, look at all the lightning. That's about, again, we had 160 strikes per minute at this given time. That is actually kind of crazy. But again, at least a lowering. Possible tornado. I did mention at one point, there was actually a little tightening on the close-up radar at one point. That may have been when that was. But again, that was in Harris County. I'll go and retweet that on Twitter. That's actually insane, though. Let's see if we can, we have a couple of other little videos as well with that. I'm gonna see if we can kind of show that more, but yeah, that's actually insane. Again, that was with the storm that was tornado warned at one point near Houston, and again, it is still an electrifying storm. Not nearly as much lightning as it once had, because that storm is producing upwards of 150 strikes per minute. Right now, it's only producing, I say only because it was producing a lot more earlier, it's producing 91 strikes per minute right now. So it has dropped a bit, but it is still producing a pretty substantial amount of lightning with this storm moving towards Houston, Texas. In addition to that, west of Houston along Interstate 10, there is a couple of little areas of lightning as well near Katy. And back near Sealy, those couple of areas are also seeing some flashes of lightning in those regions. So we'll keep you posted with any updates there as well. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, friendly reminder to hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to like the stream as well to help get this out to more people that are on the track of the severe weather that's ongoing here in Texas. Bit of a surprise again for many of you. You probably weren't expecting much severe weather today. Again, I did mention on Twitter, which many of you probably aren't following me on Twitter, but I did mention that there would probably at least be a few severe storms today to some extent. But regardless, there will be a lot of heavy rain, which is all transpired so far today. And the tornado threat was meant to be pretty low today regardless, even though we did have that brief possible tornado there back over northwest of Jersey not too long ago. All right, let's go show this video again for those that are tuning in. This is the current look again, what happened a little while ago near Houston. I do want to show this video again for those that are just tuning in. This was a possible, at least lowering of some sort, possible tornado though, back over northwest of Jersey Village. So pretty crazy scene here without a doubt. I mean, this is not something that a lot of people, again, were probably expecting tonight, but that is a pretty impressive lowering. If I pause this kind of here in real time, this is how large it is, which it is a pretty decent sized lowering for this sort of storm. And you can see the Christmas lights as well, which kind of goes with this. I'm surprised we're in January, but you know, we'll ignore the Christmas lights. But yeah, again, this was about an hour ago with the tornado warning. Impressive little lowering, at least a wall cloud of some sorts. Whether there was a tornado there is still, again, kind of in the question mark range right now, but definitely impressive to say the least. From earlier, and a lot of lightning. Again, if you just watch this video here, again, this is a 16-second video. I can probably count about at least 25 to 30 flashes, somewhere in that range, just in this video from all the lightning. So, and you can also see the rain shaft behind this, by the way. This is the rain shaft here. This is your wall cloud, so this is rain. And again, this was right here where the wall cloud probably was. I can't really label I can't draw with this pen very well, but that's right here. It's probably the wall cloud from earlier. And then again, this was the rain shaft back over here to the west, or whatever direction this was. I'm assuming this is looking from the south going north, looking west. Right here is that rain shaft. And then again, this was your funnel cloud out in front of it. And again, there may have been a tornado with this. Who knows? Obviously, there will probably be some sort of survey tomorrow to see if there was a tornado with this tornado warning northwest of Houston not too long ago. This was again back over near the Jersey Village area, just northwest of there. Also, actually, let me put on the video audio as well. Not sure how loud it is for you guys. Hopefully it's loud enough, but you can hear the wind in this area. This is at least a couple of miles away from the storm, but you can hear the wind as well. A little bit of wind, and the trees aren't really moving a whole lot, so it's not strong wind, but there's a little bit of wind there when this video was taken. Turn that back off, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man. That's wild. And this is the best view you'll have, by the way. You can see the flash of lightning here. Again, this right here is your rain shaft. All the rain behind it. And then again, this right here is likely your funnel cloud. This is most likely a funnel cloud of some sorts. It does seem like the National Weather Service also noted that this is likely a funnel cloud. So, or possible tornado at the bare minimum. That is definitely looking like a funnel cloud, though. It's nighttime, so it's a bit harder to tell, but definitely a lowering without a doubt with the storm. We'll keep you posted, though, if we have any new details on that, but that is, again, a pretty impressive looking cell there, man. Again, this is not something that many people were expecting tonight, but it's kind of what's happened tonight anyways. There was a little bit of low-level jet as well tonight. This is not like a out of the question sort of situation that we saw with that sort of lowering, and I was really only anticipating personally a very low tornado threat at all, maybe like spin up of some sorts. This was kind of in that category of a spin up with maybe a very brief tornado, which was probably very well on the weaker side, but regardless, very impressive looking cell there. That was northwest of Jersey Village, and this is the same cell, by the way, that did produce that tornado, or a possible tornado I should say, that's moving towards Houston right now. So definitely something to monitor as it continues to move down to the south and east. Sheets of rain, again, are going to be falling. Visibility on the roadways will be dropping as this continues to move down to the south and east as well. Not just that, there is still quarter-sized hail possible with this storm. Locations included in the warning are on the left side of your screen. This is a little bit more zoomed out for those that are in this region. Jersey Village right now probably being hammered by heavy rain, and not just that, maybe some quarter-sized hail as well, as that continues to move down to the south and east. Friendly update, by the way, or friendly reminder, I should say, make sure to, again, hit the like button down below if you've not already, to get more people at least knowing that the situation's ongoing. Helps get this out to more people that are in the track of these storms. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you're new here. Let's try to reach 30,250 subscribers. We're only about a few away from that. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We do nationwide weather, and again, we do severe weather live streams like this one all of the time. All right. Go back over here real quick. Also, by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. If you're in Houston, you are expected to see this storm around 11:30 to 11:45. So within the next half an hour to about 45 minutes is when you'll probably see this storm. So if you're on the track of this, again, stay away from windows because there could very well be some quarter-sized hail here. Let's go back over to the velocities as well real quick. We'll see if there's any update there. Again, the winds are pretty still kind of on the strong side near Jersey Village. There is no rotation, though, by any means right now near Aldine, which this would probably be the region where we would see any sort of rotation. Doesn't seem to be much of anything right now, and even back near Jersey Village, not a whole lot currently ongoing. Could something develop in the next few minutes? Not out of the question, but it does seem to kind of be on the lower end right now. This is where that hail is likely ongoing, by the way. It's on the northeast side of Jersey Village. We had a few reports in chat of some hail being on the Beltway 8 near Jersey Village and just between Jersey Village and 249. So that kind of area here was where we had a few reports there of some hail. Whether it was quarter size or something like that is a bit of a question mark still, a bit of uncertainty, but there was likely at least some sort of small hail of some sort, but I would definitely anticipate there was some quarter-sized hail mixed in there. And from earlier, back near Huntsville, by the way, in Walker County, Texas, that's north of Houston, that area saw between quarter to golf ball sized hail. So there's already been upwards of golf ball sized hail up that direction. So definitely something to be noting there. A little update real quick on the storm near Victoria, then we'll go back to Houston. This is a storm that's producing quarter sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and look at this hail core. This has blown up a lot more over the last few minutes near 77A, moving off to the east-southeast towards 87. So just a heads up there. Some hail starting to really starting to intensify there near 183. We very well could be talking about upwards of ping pong ball sized hail with this storm. Let's go over to the hail radar real quick. We'll see if there's any indication of that right now. This is from about a few minutes ago, so not on the latest radar scan, but somewhere near around $half sized hail at the bare minimum, it seems like, is falling in between Yorktown and 77A. So a bit of an increase on the hail radar right now. Again, this is a storm moving probably pretty close to Victoria here pretty soon. So if you're in Victoria, just a little heads up there. All right, let's go back to the Houston storm. We're going to be keeping more of a close eye on this one as it impacts a lot more people over the next several minutes. And again, a friendly reminder, make sure to subscribe. We're only 2 likes from 600 as well, so make sure to hit the like button. It's free to do and helps get this out to many more people that are in the track of these storms here in the Houston metro, as well as anywhere back through Victoria, Texas as well. So we'll be keeping, again, a very close eye on that here over the next several minutes. All right. Humble would be, but I learned so fast it's pronounced umble. Is this actually called umble right here? Near 69, Interstate 69? Is anybody from that area? I thought it was just humble. I mean, I don't know. I used to cover North Texas weather specifically. I still do, but on Facebook, nationwide weather, I've never really covered this region specifically on severe weather live streams, but it's humble. Okay, interesting. Good thing to know. Thank you. Thanks, Stu. I appreciate it. Yeah, again, another concern with this storm, I know it's severe and you're probably just thinking only quarter-sized hail is coming with this and nothing else. That's not true. There's going to be a lot of heavy rain with this. You can see all the red and pinks, which there's not a whole lot of pinks here, but at the bare minimum, you can see all the red. That is indicating heavy rainfall. So visibility on the roadways will drop substantially, as low as quarter of a mile. So make sure you're taking it slow on the roadways, and also hydroplaning becomes a bit more of a concern with this sort of setup. So again, make sure that you're taking it slow out there. And again, if you're anywhere near Jersey Village, especially, that area right now is definitely seeing some heavy rainfall now. And anywhere along the Beltway 8, that's an area that we did have reports of at least some sort of hail as well. So there's been some hail with this storm that's already been confirmed. There's a lot of heavy rain out there, and gusty winds upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour are also possible. In addition to all of this, there is a lot of lightning. This is a heavy, or extremely electrified storm, I should say, here in the Jersey Village area, Hunters Creek Village, Houston. By the way, if you're in Houston, I'm assuming if you're in Houston right now, and you can confirm in chat here, you're probably seeing a lot of flashes of lightning out in the distance. So I do recommend you don't go outside by any means, because again, lightning can strike from several miles away. It does become a big concern here, though, as this continues to move down to the south and east. But this sort of storm is, again, quite crazy what we're seeing here in the Houston region. By the way, if you have Discord and you want to join our Discord server to interact with our stream, off the stream, and all that, make sure to join our Discord server. Link will be in the chat. And yeah, again, we'll keep you updated with the latest here. I can't see more than a block. Well, thank you for the report. Yeah, again, this rain is going to be pretty blinding. I wish we had some sort of video or photo of that, but I just don't have any right now. If you guys are in the Houston area, or you can safely take a photo anywhere in the Jersey Village area, feel free to send me one. You can send it to me on Twitter. We also have, yeah, basically Twitter. You can email me. The email's in the description. And you can message me on Discord, any of those sort of things, if you have any photos or videos that you'd like to send in. Again, I'm going to just kind of reiterate this from earlier, just a little heads up for those northwest of Jersey Village. This was from earlier, and we just showed this a few minutes ago, but quite remarkable. This was from when this storm was tornado warned. There was a funnel cloud with this storm about an hour ago or so. I don't think we'll see a rendition of a tornado threat with this storm at this point, but if it does end up redeveloping, it's not out of the question that we could potentially see some sort of, you know, lowering a funnel cloud, maybe a brief tornado. And let me see if I can pause this when there's lightning, and I can kind of give you a little idea of what we're looking at here. So this is the funnel cloud. This is right here. That's your funnel cloud here. This is the rain shaft behind it. So this was not rain wrapped, and I did initially think it was a bit more on the rain wrap side, but that's the funnel cloud right here. So pretty impressive little cell. Again, it may have produced a brief tornado. It's an unconfirmed sort of report at this point, but yeah, again, that's where your funnel cloud is. I'm not sure if there's a better spot here, but maybe right here. This is actually a pretty good spot right here. So again, that is your funnel cloud right there, and pretty impressive though from earlier. And again, this is northwest of Houston, Texas, back over near the 290 and I believe 90 intersection, if I'm not mistaken. That's northwest of Jersey Village. So again, that is where we saw that lowering the funnel cloud, the possible tornado as well. There may have been something brief at some point. Hard to tell, though. At the bare minimum, though, we saw a funnel cloud. And obviously, there's not been any reports of a tornado yet. If we knew, then I would definitely tell you. But we've had no reports of a tornado. It was likely brief if there was one, but definitely a pretty impressive little cell here that was near the Jersey Village area. So we'll keep you posted if there's any new details here. But yeah, a little lowering there. And that was in the Houston area. Let's go back over to the live radar here for now, though. This is the severe thunderstorm warning that may be let to expire. The hail threat does seem to be going down just a little bit. These are the couple of pockets of hail that may still be ongoing. That's near Jersey Village and just west of Aldine. Moving off to the east towards Interstate 45, there is likely at least some sort of small hail still remaining here. As this moves off to the east and as well as the southeast. Houston right now, I would at least be ready for a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. So if you're trying to go to bed right now, You probably won't be very successful with it with how much lightning there is right now ongoing with this storm, but I would at least be mindful. There's gonna be a lot of rain as well at this. So if you're on the roadways, again, take it slowly. Take it slowly on the roadways. Hydroplaning is gonna become a concern. We've seen upwards of 1 to 2 inches per hour in terms of rainfall with these sort of cells, so that's another big concern as well. Quick update on the Victoria supercell that's also producing quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Still a pretty substantial hail core here near 77. If we go back over to the hail radar, it's definitely going to indicate some probably some pretty large hail here, and this is the latest. And I did mention it was possibly upwards of ping pong ball sized hail here, and yeah, right in that range, right around 1.4 inches in diameter, possibly. Again, it's estimated, but that was near 183 and 77. May have been upwards of ping pong ball sized hail there for a brief time. That's again northwest of Victoria. So if you're in Victoria, Texas, just a little heads up, that storm may again become a bit more on the severe end as it approaches Victoria. We'll be watching that storm pretty closely as well. Going back over towards Houston, we do have a special weather statement for half-inch sized hail for Wallace and Eagle Lake. So that's the latest update there. This severe thunderstorm warning has been let to expire in areas near Houston. Could we see a new one? It's possible. This storm has recycled a couple of times in terms of hail, and as well as obviously the tornado threat did exist there for a while. So we'll be watching the storm pretty closely. But the biggest thing right now with this storm is a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain as this approaches Houston right now, and Bunker Hill Village, as well as Jersey Village, is right now experiencing all those threats that I've mentioned and outlined here over the last several minutes, including hail. They did see a little bit of hail there, so pretty wild stuff going on here near Houston right now. Aldine, thank you. I can sleep through anything, even thunder. Some people can. I can typically sleep through that sort of stuff too. Yeah, that's thunder and lightning. You know, it's one of those things though. I mean, if you don't have like any blinds or like good blinds and whatnot, you can see a lot of flashes of lightning through that as well. So that can kind of get a bit annoying. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. That is actually back over into Louisiana. We have a couple of them up here. We're going to go over these real quick. This is the other one that had been mentioned before near Camp T, possibly producing quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. No rotation on this by any means. It is definitely more of a hail threat, I would say. Not really much of a damaging wind threat. This is the other storm going toward Zawali, Manny, as well as Milam and Oak Grove, Pleasant Hill, all included right now in this ongoing brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Quarter-sized hail, definitely the main threat, and this is right along the border of Louisiana and Texas. Again, Zawali is going to be right in the track of that, going towards 171 over the next several minutes. So stay away from windows, bring your car into your garage if you're out in front of this, and you can do so safely. A lot of lightning as well with that storm for sure. All these storms are producing a ton of lightning out there. I mean, again, the one near Houston was producing several times upwards of 150 lightning strikes per minute. And at one point, it was producing more recently 90 strikes per minute. So there is a lot of lightning with these storms right now. Latest update on the Houston storm in terms of the lightning per minute is right now at 130. Excuse me, correction. It's at 95. So right now it's 95 strikes per minute with this one pretty long clustered storm here near Jersey Village and as well as through Aldine. Also, the storm that is starting to form back southwest of Houston, that one also producing some lightning now. So this entire box that is outlined here, anywhere in this box is currently around 95 strikes per minute in terms of lightning. That is almost 1.5 flashes per second. So there's a lot of lightning with these storms. That's pretty wild to say the least. It's really wild. And these storms are a lot more electrified than was at least expected. So yeah, we actually had a video, by the way, over in Huntsville of a lot of basically. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can get the video here, but there was a lot of hail falling over in Huntsville. Again, back up in Huntsville, Texas, we'd have confirmed reports of upwards of golf ball sized hail. So if you're back up in that area, again, there was a lot of hail there. I can't show the video, unfortunately. I will retweet it though on Twitter. So if you're following me on Twitter, you can check that video out of a bunch of hail falling. It almost looked like it was sleeting with how much hail was falling. But if you want to check that out, link will be in the chat to my Twitter. Make sure to follow me while you're there. But there's a lot of hail there. That was falling back up in Huntsville. Also, the video of the funnel cloud that happened is over there on Twitter if you want to take a look for yourself. But there's a lot of storm activity still ongoing. We're going to primarily keep our focus here on Houston for the next few minutes as well. Thank you, missionaries, for the $5 super chat. Will these storms come through the Poplarville area in Mississippi? They will, but they will not be probably too severe. I would expect more of rain. There's a possibility for a very isolated severe storm, but I would say that's on the low scale. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Anybody else, by the way, that has become a member or donated tonight, I really appreciate your support. Helps the page out a lot, especially in January. This month is really tough for ad revenue on YouTube. So if you do donate, it goes much more a long way than ever before. And I really do appreciate your support. Hey, Kaylee, how you doing? Anyone want to tell me what's happening? Sure, I can go over everything that you need to know here. We've gone over a lot of stuff here, and again, it's a pretty elongated area. This is something that, again, not many people were expecting today, was severe weather and a lot of lightning, by the way, because back near Houston, the lightning is insane. We're talking upwards of 100 strikes per minute. But the general picture here across the entire state of Texas and back through Louisiana is the isolated nature of severe weather from Victoria, Texas, all the way back through areas in Louisiana. Further off to the north and east, there are some storms ongoing from about Columbus into Yazoo City. These are not severe, and I don't expect much of any severe weather in Mississippi. Maybe an isolated storm with damaging winds, but that'd be about it, or quarter-sized hail. That's it, though. You will not really see much there. Low-level jet is fairly weak tonight, so tornado threat is not really expected to be that high. There's a possibility, but it's a low threat right now. Wind field, though, back over areas near the basically western Louisiana are currently included in a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a flash flood warning as well near Jasper, and then a bit further to the south and west near Houston. That is where we're monitoring a lot of lightning, and also not just that, but a lot of rain, and there's a possibility for a little bit of small hail or gusty winds as that storm approaches. A bit further to the south and west near Victoria is another area that we're monitoring a pretty strong and severe storm right now, moving that direction off to the east. So we're watching that storm pretty closely as well. We'll be watching all the storms again pretty closely here over the next hour or so as they continue to track through the metro area of Houston, which really Houston's going to be the biggest area impacted by these storms in the short term. So we're watching that here pretty closely as well. No problem, missionary. Just lost power in Queenstone for about a minute. Thank you for the report. Yeah, we've had a few power outages. I'm not sure if there's any updates that have been big on power outages recently. There's a lot of lightning, which is probably going to be the main cause of really any power outages tonight, I would say. But DeWitt County right now actually has about 150 people without power. That's the storm back over near Victoria right now. So that storm is actually producing some power outages as well. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat from Ryan. I appreciate that. Also, thank you, David, for the $1.99 super chat. Sent a video on Twitter. I took some lightning in JV. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Thank you. Let me check that out. Got a few videos, so. Which video was it? I'm not seeing it right now. I know the only video I've seen so far, and this is the one that I've shown a few times, but this is the funnel cloud near Houston earlier. Again, I've shown it a few times, but this is the one that I've only seen so far. I'm not sure if there was another one there. If not, just mention me again if I missed it. Hey, no problem, Ryan. Appreciate you tuning in. Oh, direct message? Okay. Yeah, I have like a million direct messages. Let me check that out. Again, this is for those that are wondering what we're even looking at here. This was when the storm was tornado warned about an hour ago northwest of the Houston metro, and this was near Jersey Village as well. This storm specifically did produce a funnel cloud, possibly a tornado, and one thing that you might not notice here is all the lightning, and the lightning is absolutely absurd at this current time. When this happened about an hour ago, the lightning was at around 150 strikes per minute on estimate, so there was a lot of lightning at the time of this video, and again, wild stuff here in the Jersey Village area. I think it was just northwest of Jersey Village, so wild stuff. Also, if you've not already, make sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe again if you're new here, and we'll keep you updated with the latest. All right, here's Jersey Village. Hey, did you take, I'm assuming you took this. All right. This is the video out of Jersey Village as well. So this was, I'm not sure what time that was. I'm assuming it was a few minutes ago. That was lightning right there. So this was out of Jersey Village not too long ago, and a lot of lightning still here. I mean, we're seeing about an occasional strike every 3 to 4 seconds. Looks like there's another big flash of lightning. So Jersey Village area. Thank you for sending this in, by the way. I think it was it David? For sending that in, I appreciate it. Just another video there out of the Jersey Village area, which again, we are seeing a lot of lightning there as well. This was a few minutes ago. But quite remarkable there. I think about a few seconds in, there might have been lightning. Might be visible. Not sure if it was visible on here. I couldn't tell. Oh, right here. Look at that. Top of your screen. Look how bright that is. Right there. Are you outside, by the way, David? I don't recommend you being outside taking these videos by any means, but at the top of your screen there, you can see the lightning right there. Look how bright that was, too. That literally was so bright. I'm assuming that was pretty close to you. That looks like it was within a mile or so. I'm not sure how loud that... Wait, let me see how loud it was. Oh, that was... Look, do you guys hear that? Let me turn on the audio. Listen how loud that is. All right, here's the audio. Listen how quickly this happens, by the way. This is within about 2 seconds. That is not far. That is not far at all. That is within probably about a half a mile with that sort of craziness. Oh, through the kitchen window. I'm glad you were inside. I thought this was outside for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad you were in your kitchen because that's actually insane. I'll play it one more time for those that didn't hear it the first time. That's within about a half a mile, if not a quarter of a mile. That's wild. Play one more time. I appreciate you sending that in, David. That's pretty wild. Man, that is pretty crazy. I was at 11:32, by the way, p.m. Wait, 11:32. That's like, you mean an hour ago? It's 11:25 Central Time, so not sure if you meant a different time there. That is wild, though, man. All right, here's the current look of the storm, by the way, over near Houston. It does seem like this storm is becoming much more disorganized, which is good news. The only concern really left remaining with this is the possibility for small hail. Along with that, this will likely produce the potential for a lot of heavy rain, which it already has. I mean, you can see all the reds on the map. That is a lot of heavy rain. Along with that, there's a lot of lightning. So if you're anywhere in this area, as you just saw in that video, by the way, there is a ton of lightning with this storm near Houston, Texas. So again, stay away from windows. Do not go outside, by the way. What you just saw in that video, that was a strike within half a mile. So again, make sure that you are not getting close to windows or anything like that. Obviously, that video was taken pretty close to a window, but that was wild what we just saw there out of Jersey Village. And Jersey Village, by the way, just off here to the north and west. 11:13. So that video was about, by the way, 13 minutes ago. Just for a heads up. Thank you, Observer, for a $20 super chat. Let's get some claps in the chat for Observer for a very generous $20 super chat. I really do appreciate your support, by the way. Really means the world to me. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Some claps in the chat there for Observer. Get the super sticker. When I heard it, I stopped in my tracks. This is, I mean, man, I really, again, was not expecting this much lightning tonight. It is wild, the amount of lightning that we've seen tonight. This is the velocities, by the way. For those that are curious, is there any tornado threat with these storms? Well, the answer to that is no, probably not at this point. I mean, it's not zero, but it is on the very low end of things right now. Back near Hunters Creek, again, this is where our wind field is right now. These brighter greens, at least some wind gusts northwest of Houston. So if you're in the Houston metro, there might be some gusty winds, but really, again, the biggest thing right now is just the amount of lightning that we're seeing with these storms. It is wild what we're seeing out there near Hunters Creek Village, for example. Jersey Village, what we just saw there was pretty wild as well. All right, we have another video. Let me see if the audio, do I have to solve the audio on? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's go and show this video. Might be a bit more blurry. I'm not sure if I can make this. Wait, let me try to see if I can make this full screen real quick. Save video. I'll just save this video and do it here. We have another video. This is out of the Jersey Village area as well, sent in by Adrian Ark. This is video here. So yeah, Jersey Village, a lot of heavy rain. Again, blurry video, but gives you a very good idea here how much rain is falling. And you can see the flashes of lightning as well. So yeah, again, this is what you're gonna be seeing out there if you're anywhere in the Jersey Village area, anywhere in Houston, anywhere really in the metro, anywhere around this area. It is gonna be experiencing a lot of heavy rain and lightning. And so that was a very clear indication of what you'll see out there. Also on the roadways, if you're traveling, visibility expected to be between a half a mile to a quarter of a mile. It's gonna be very limited out there for sure. So there will not be a whole lot of stuff to see out in front of you. So make sure you're taking it slow on the roadways, especially on the interstates. It's gonna be very difficult to travel tonight in terms of how much rain is falling right now. We're only 50 likes away, by the way, from 800. If you've not already, make sure to hit the like button down below. Again, that helps get this out to more people that are in the track of this ongoing activity. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you've not already. This is again, we do live coverage across the entire United States, including Texas. Texas is our big state that we do severe weather coverage in. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We're only 49 subscribers from 30,400. So again, we'll keep you updated with the latest and everything that you need to know in terms of severe weather and all of that sort of stuff. Let's real quick get an update on the storm back over near Victoria. This is the one that has been producing severe weather for a while. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, ongoing threats. This one does seem to be weakening quite a bit. It was a bit stronger before. We'll go from the Corpus Christi radar site. There may be still a little bit of quarter-sized hail near 183, but this threat does seem to be going down here, back over here near the 77A as well as the 183 area, northwest of Victoria. So again, make sure you're aware of this storm. There's a lot of lightning with this as well. Still some blinding rains as well near 183, but that is pretty wild there. Still seeing some severe weather there. But again, Houston's been the really big talk here. Pretty crazy to say the least. Weird sounds. Which video are we talking about? Hey, David, do you mind if I post that, by the way, on, I don't know if I can post this. Is there any way you can send me that by email? I'll send you the email you can send it to if you want. I'm thinking about posting that at least on Twitter. If you would allow me, but let me know. If you can send it to my email, though, I can at least post it there on Twitter. Because I think a lot of people are asking about that video. Unless you posted it on your profile, I can just retweet it. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, for those that are wondering about that lightning strike, I will post that on Twitter here in a minute once I get the video. And I'll show it again for those that want to see it. Again, this is pretty wild. Thank you, David. So this is the video again. This is when the lightning strike happened within a quarter of a mile. Look at the top left of your screen. It is extremely loud. You can hear the echo off the houses too. That's wild. The Discord will be in the chat. I'll put the link there. Hey Zynga, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, again, that was the lightning. It's pretty wild. Again, this is in Jersey Village, so not too far away from where Houston is. Just on the northwest suburbs. Top left of your screen again. That lightning is so loud. It is quite incredible. That was not the only video that we saw tonight, by the way. We also saw the funnel cloud that was spotted northwest of Houston as well. Again, this was the funnel cloud northwest of Houston, and you can see it here. That's the funnel cloud right there. Behind the Christmas lights. By the way, we're in, like, I don't know. How far are we into January? Weekend now? Yeah, we're about a week. We're just over a weekend. Christmas lights are still out there, but I won't take any offense to that. There's a lot of people that still have Christmas decorations up, but this is the funnel cloud again from earlier. That was northwest of Houston. I'll try to kind of draw it out for you since it's a bit blurry. That is the funnel cloud right here. That is your funnel cloud. So I'll kind of label it here. Northwest of Houston, again, about an hour ago when this was tornado warned. This is your rain shaft right here. So that's all the rain that's falling there out of sky. So funnel cloud's a little bit on front of this. I'm assuming this is looking north as well from the south. So I'm pretty sure this camera is pointing directly north if I'm not mistaken. But either way, maybe a little bit more southwest. It's kind of hard to tell. But that is at least the funnel cloud that we saw earlier there in Houston. And you can also see the obnoxious amount of lightning as well in this area, which is quite wild. So those are the two videos that we pretty much have right now out of the... we have actually three now, but the main videos that we've had there out of the Houston area, anywhere in the suburbs as well. Alright, let's go back over here. By the way, we do actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Victoria. Let's hop over to this real quick. It no longer includes much of a hail threat. It is actually more of a damaging wind concern now that is going to be heading towards Victoria, Texas. So if you're included in this area, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as maybe a little bit of dime-sized hail will be our main two concerns as this storm approaches the Victoria, Texas area. So again, that's the brand new update on this storm moving to the south and east. Going to be potentially producing a little bit of a damaging wind threat more than anything right now as that continues to again track towards Victoria. Shelly just posted the link to the Discord in the chat. If you need to, the Discord link is in the description below as well. Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. And again, this is a regional view of Houston. We'll zoom out a little bit. This is actually pretty wild what we're seeing. So a couple of little developments. Again, this is our main area of rain that's moving through Houston right now. That is where we're seeing a load of lightning. On the other hand, we're seeing back down here to the south, these are storms near Galveston. They're actually moving to the north. These ones over here are moving a bit more east-southeast. The ones back near Lake Jackson and Galveston are moving more to the north due to how much moisture right now is coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. So we have a couple of little different areas here of rain that are ongoing. One near Houston, one back near Lake Jackson and Galveston. Both of them are producing the potential for some strong storms, meaning a lot of lightning. Not just that, there's possibility for some gusty winds, a little bit of small hail with that as well. Could see some M&M-sized hail with a couple of these storms as well as they continue to move off either to the east for those back near Houston or off to the north for those back down south of Houston. So a couple of different bands of showers and storms. And here's a view of Harris County as well. So I'll kind of give you a little review of that. I know a lot of you that are probably watching are from the Harris County area here in Texas. So if you're in the Harris County area, this is what we're currently looking at across the area.
Get ready. This should be.
All right, let's go back over to here real quick. All right. I show Northern California soon. I probably will not in this live stream. I might at the end, but probably not much of Northern California in this live stream. If there's anything ongoing, I might, but primarily focusing on Texas for right now. Thank you, David. I just got it. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, that quality is perfect. Yeah, I'll go and post this on Twitter. For those that are wondering, again, this is when lightning struck in Jersey Village. You can see at the top left of your screen, and you can also hear the lightning. That was within about a quarter of a mile or so, maybe a half mile. Yeah, that was again near Jersey Village. Jersey Village, by the way, this was about 30 minutes ago-ish, maybe 20 minutes ago. That was about 23 minutes ago, I think was the exact time. That right there is where that lightning happened, was right around that Jersey Village area. Pretty wild stuff, to say the least. Let me go and post this on Twitter real quick. So yeah, for those that want to see that crazy close lightning strike, post that on Twitter. For 1 second. Let me zoom back into Houston real quick. I'm just posting this on Twitter for those that want to watch it. All right, that is now tweeted on Twitter. I will post a link to that in chat as well. And there we go. All right. So you have to skip into about 14 seconds to see that. I think about 10, or actually it might be more like 5 seconds, but 5 to 10 seconds. All right, are these storms going to continue to strengthen? So yeah, that's one of the questions that a lot of people are also asking. Are these storms going to continue to intensify? Will they start to weaken? That sort of thing. I would expect these to weaken more than anything over the next few hours. This is not going to be an overnight severe weather event by any means. If there's anything, it's going to be very isolated in nature. So what we're seeing right now is very isolated to begin with. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings right now on the board. 2 of them right now in Texas, 2 of them back over in Louisiana. It is very isolated in nature so far, and obviously Houston is one of those areas that was kind of a bit more unlucky than not to actually have severe weather a bit closer to them in terms of it just being such an isolated event. So overall, it's going to be pretty isolated, I would say, here for the rest of the evening and into the overnight hours. Heavy rain and a lot of lightning, though, are still big concerns. We have a lot of lightning still ongoing here near the Houston, Texas area. Jersey Village, again, I'm not sure what the exact lightning count is right now. Let me see what we have for an update here. The lightning is still really, again, obnoxious, I'd say at the bare minimum here in Houston. We are right now at 150 strikes per minute again. And this is not even that organized of a cell. It is just producing an extensive amount of lightning in Houston. So if you're in Houston, it might be a bit of a long evening here. I wouldn't expect lightning, or really thunder and lightning, all the rumbles and stuff, to really wind down for at least an hour or two. But this is definitely a bit of a concern if you're in Houston. There's gonna be a lot of lightning, and this could also potentially pose the threat for at least some sort of possibility for potentially like a little fire or something like that. So that's also a concern. This could very well pose the potential for maybe some basically cloud to ground lightning. That's what I'm trying to get to here. So that's the possibility here with this sort of storm, with how much lightning is ongoing here near Houston. A very disorganized cell, by the way, but it has all evolved here from this tornado warned cell back in between Prairie View and the Jersey Village area, and it is now just producing an extremely enormous amount of lightning and a lot of heavy rain as well. And this is kind of just a zoomed out look of everything that's evolved over the last 2 hours. Timestamp again at the top left of your screen. So pretty wild stuff. Can I check in on Antarctica real quick? Sure. Let me do that. Let me do a full in-depth dive on Antarctica. Yeah, this is the Aldine area. Yeah, right here, Aldine. Aldine's more seeing rain right now. No hail with this for Aldine. It's more of just a little bit of rain. Severe weather does seem to be winding down for Houston, which is good news, by the way, for those that are in Houston. Great news. Obviously, we don't want to see severe weather in Houston, so there we go. Quick reminder, by the way, if you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It is free to do, and we do severe weather coverage across the entire United States, especially in Texas. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We're only 5 subscribers right now from 30,400. Hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit the like button down below. I would appreciate it. Hopefully, everybody's enjoyed the stream, by the way, so far as well. I do appreciate everybody tuning in as well. We'll be live here for a little bit longer, kind of covering the rest of what we got going right now, especially through Houston. I want to be live here for the rest of what happens here in Houston, especially with all the crazy videos that we've seen in terms of very close lightning strikes. We've also seen dumps of heavy rain, basically. And we also saw the funnel cloud, by the way, the potential brief tornado back northwest of Jersey Village. So pretty active night. Pretty active couple of hours here, to say the least. We also have another video out of, I'm not sure where this is. This is at 1035 near 290 and 99 from, this is a little bit of a view here. Just lightning more than anything. Looks like a lot of heavy rain, by the way. So yeah, that was kind of the view. You can see how much lightning happens here, by the way, over a 6-second time frame. A good 6 or 7 flashes in there. So that's kind of giving you a good representation of the 150 lightning strikes that we're seeing upwards right now of per minute. It is unbelievable how much lightning that we're seeing out here across the Houston metro, and as well as anywhere around the suburbs as well. A lot of lightning strikes with these storms. Lots of heavy rain as well to go along with it. So it is definitely been a very active evening, to say the least. And again, this is a zoomed out look across the entire state of Texas, back into Louisiana here in a 2-hour time loop that will have on the time or on the screen here for just a moment. So wild stuff, to say the least. See if I have any other updates here as well. By the way, severe weather threat, actually, which is kind of crazy. The Storm Prediction Center actually removed the marginal threat for severe weather for the rest of the night. Now, I would not go ahead and say that there's not going to be any more severe weather tonight. It's going to be a very low threat with what's going to happen here for the rest of the next 2 hours. But isolated severe weather is still possible. Just keep that in mind, even though there's no direct threat. That doesn't mean severe weather can't happen. It's just a very low threat. It's to the point where there is really no need for a risk. It's going to be very, very isolated. Maybe 1 or 2 more warnings additionally for the rest of the night. That's probably what I would expect at this point. Thanks, Kenley. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Am I going live tomorrow? I'm not sure what I'll go live for, but I don't think so. There's a low chance I go live for California tomorrow night, but we'll see. A low chance. California will be interesting, though, with the Pineapple Express continuing. It's been pretty wild there, to say the least. For anybody that's been keeping track with the California event and all that, it has been extremely active. I mean, it has just been unbelievable how much rain they've seen as well. It's been absurd. It has been wild. By the way, real quick, I just want to show you guys this before too much longer. This is going to be the new overlay. I'm not sure if it's actually working right now. It's kind of working, but this will be the new overlay that I'm going to use in the future. So the blue circles around me up here will be going away here pretty soon and all that. So, and also there should be something at the bottom right, but it's not working. But that is going to be my new overlay here pretty soon. So I will be using that in the future, especially for videos. I actually have a pretty good idea for videos. Somebody actually mentioned for video forecast that the timestamp is too small at the top left. I will be fixing that. So stay tuned for that. That's a pretty good addition that I'll be changing here pretty soon. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate it. This is why we don't put pineapple on pizza. That is a great point. We do not put pineapple on pizza because of the Pineapple Express. That is a great point. Makes all the sense in the world now. All right, let me pause the screen again for those that are in Houston. This loop is a bit too long. This is again the Houston Metro right now. No severe weather right now, but there is a possibility for almost a certainty, I should say, for heavy rain and a lot of lightning. We're still talking about 150 strikes per minute right now. So it's good, Mario. It's pretty good. It's good. Thanks, Fitz. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing. Just a friendly reminder, by the way, if you've enjoyed this stream and you want to support this page above and beyond, again, I would really appreciate it, but you can always become a member for as little as $2.99 a month by clicking either the join button if you're on desktop or click the link in the description if you're on mobile devices so you get the right price. And also, you can always donate to the page by clicking one of the links in the description. I don't know where it is. I don't really ever look, but if it's in the description somewhere. You can also super chat. It really helps the page out a lot. I don't usually ask, but it's just because the YouTube ad revenue is so low this month, so pretty much anything that I get this month is just gonna be off of support. So, but other than that, I really do appreciate everybody tuning in regardless. Obviously, it's not required by any means, but I just want to put that out there. Otherwise, that is pretty much what we're talking about for the rest of the night, is the rain. I'll be live here probably for at least another 15 to 20 minutes, so if anything does develop here in Houston. Houston, again, is now just getting hammered by the heavy rain and all that, so again, if you're in Houston, just take it slow on the roadways. That's the best advice I can really give you. Just take it slow on the roadways. If you're in the metro or anywhere around it, take it slow out there. Hydroplaning is a concern. Visibility will be dropping down to as low as a quarter of a mile in some areas. So big concern there. In addition to that, it's not just the rain that we're seeing, but it's also the amount of lightning that we're seeing. We're seeing upwards of 150 strikes per minute right now in the Houston area. In fact, right now, the latest estimate from lightningmaps.org is right around the 140 strikes per minute mark. So there's still a lot of lightning out there. And actually, I wonder if I can, let me see if I can bring this up real quick. I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I can show this on here, but there's a lot of lightning, and a lot of the lightning that's happening right now is actually right here. So for those in Houston, you're not even really at the peak of the thunder and lightning that we're seeing out there. You're probably still a good 5 to 10 minutes away from the hefty amount of lightning that'll be really out there over the next few minutes there near Houston and Spring Valley and Bel Air. Those areas are really going to start to ramp up on the amount of thunder and lightning over the next few minutes, and they'll get progressively louder in Houston. So if you're in Houston, just a heads up there, a lot of lightning is coming for sure. Taco Bell pizzas are good. Okay, I've actually never had a Taco Bell pizza. Devin, I wish I could. I don't think any of these though I can actually show, unfortunately. Really the best way I can give you any sort of it's not live, but this was from a little bit ago. This is again the lightning that we saw out there in Jersey Village, so northwest of Houston. Yeah, if you look at the top left of your screen, very close lightning strike sent in by Devin. Actually, it's not Devin. David. Yeah, this is really the wild sight that we've seen here in the Houston Metro and anywhere around it today. It's been a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, and all that sort of stuff, so it's been wild out there for sure. Yeah, good. I would say there's, not just lightning, but there's been a ton, and I mean a ton of rain as well. I mean, we're talking the possibility for some flash flooding as well. It's been a pretty isolated risk though overall. We have a couple of flash flood warnings, but in those lower elevations, it's where we very well could see some potential there for some flash flooding. Real quick update on Victoria, Texas, back near 77. Currently a quarter-sized hail threat and 60-mile-per-hour winds does exist here. Just a heads up. This is actually an area that I would be mindful of because this is an increasing threat again. Quarter-sized hail is possible with this cell moving towards Victoria. The big update with this storm in particular is the quarter-sized hail. So it'll continue to move towards Victoria. It does not actually dime size. It's now quarter size. We just got that update a second ago. For those in Victoria County, is currently now back up to a quarter-sized hail threat. Otherwise, a lot of heavy rain for sure. As this continues to move off to the east and as well as the east-southeast. Real quick, I'm going to go to the radar site back down near Corpus Christi. I don't think there's any rotation with this, but we'll take a real quick look. Yeah, no rotation with this, but definitely a hail concern right now, and that is primarily back up just west of Victoria. That is your hail right there, and that'll continue to move off to the east towards Victoria. So if you're in the Victoria area, just make sure you're staying away from windows. Bring your car into your garage as well as that severe storm continues to march to the east. And again, this is a look at Houston right now. So a lot of rain out there and a lot of lightning. Those are the biggest two concerns right now here. I believe in the earth being flat. Maybe. Actually, I don't. It's actually a weird thing though to actually kind of ask though, because I actually had this thought yesterday. For some reason, I thought like, is the Earth actually truly round or flat? And obviously, we have scientific evidence to back it up, but I had that thought come across my head for some reason yesterday. I don't know why. What do you guys think in the chat? Is Earth flat or round? What do you guys think? I'm actually kind of curious to see if anybody has differing opinions on that. Not many flights canceled or delayed. Yeah, most flights aren't taking off at midnight, though, to be honest with you. Earth is a cube. That is a good point. Earth is a cube. What side are you from? I mean, technically, you can make the argument that Earth is flat, because I am right now on a flat floor. Well, flat. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Hot dog is a sandwich. I would consider it as a sandwich. Even though it's a pretty weak sandwich, because it's not really, I don't know. I think sandwich more than anything, though, is like two pieces of bread kind of smack dab on it, not like connected on a bun. But I don't know. I would consider it a sandwich. Or a sub. Actually, no. Hot dog is a sub. It's a sub. That's actually a pretty good argument they can make for a sub. We do have a couple more videos coming in. Might try to use a couple here. Let's see. We have a couple of videos from the Houston area. Lots of lightning. I mean, that's like the biggest thing with these videos I've been getting. It's just a lot of lightning and a lot of rain. But this is pretty good. This is a pretty good video, I think. This is from LBR on Twitter. So, kind of watch this entire video because it's actually kind of interesting.
Stop.
Also, public service announcement. This is he's saying stop to the dog. So it's Tom. Right there.
Oh my god.
That's wild too. I wish this video wasn't sideways. That's actually insane. I think I could turn it around if I edit it, but look at this.
Oh my god.
Like how it says, oh my god. That's wild. I don't know. Where was this again? Is that Houston? I think it was Houston.
I need a beer.
He just said, I need a beer. That's actually so funny. Oh, that's funny. Hey, LBR, are you still watching the stream? If you are, do you mind sending that to me on my email? I'll send you my email if you want. If you want me to post it, more than anything. I'll post it on Twitter, too. I'll try to flip it so it's not, like, horizontal. I'll try to flip it so it's actually, like, you know, the right way, but... Or vertical, that's what I meant. I'll flip it to horizontal. But if you want to send it to me and you want me to post it on Twitter, I've sent you my email, but... That's wild. I love the reaction. I need a beer. It's funny. By the way, the National Weather Service of Shreveport is currently looking for reports, if anybody has them, of hail or damaging winds with either of these storms via Twitter. So if you have any reports on these storms, don't report it to me. I don't really do much of a use with them other than just repeating them to everybody. But make sure to give the National Weather Service there of Shreveport a heads up. If you're in any of these warnings here, if you've seen any sort of threats, if not, even say that. I haven't seen anything in this town or whatever, because that's viable information for them. To continue warnings and such as well, it definitely goes a long way, and also, you know, just reports in general. So, again, National Weather Service of Shreveport on Twitter. If you have any of those sort of reports, make sure to give them a heads up. Those are pretty important stuff there. Highly recommend it. Again, I will not do any use with them other than just repeating them. So, any power outages in Houston? I don't think so. Let me check though. If any, they're very minimal. Yeah, the power outages have been very minimal. The entire state of Texas currently at 1,357 people without power. That's not much at all. And I mean, 500 of that is back in a Young County, which is back up in like central Texas. So there really isn't actually that many power outages. I thought there would be a bit more in the Houston area, to be honest. But the storm really weakened a lot. It's just a lot of lightning right now, and also a lot of rain. So those are the big two things. And typically power outages don't really come out of either of those. It's typically from the wind associated, and not just the wind, but also it comes from the sometimes even hail. Hail can sometimes knock out power if it is large enough, but typically it's damaging winds or a tornado, and we've just not really seen anything in terms of power outages quite yet. What a storm. I really agree with that. What a storm. It has been impressive, to say the least, and I really do say that because when I went live, I thought I was gonna be live for 20 minutes covering that one tornado warning. I thought the rotation would just weaken out quick, but this storm has actually been unbelievable. How much lightning has been with it, and the rain, it has been remarkable, to say the least. And I'm glad I covered it for as long as I have, because it has been pretty remarkable. A friendly reminder, again, if you're just tuning in, make sure to hit the like button down below. It's free to do, helps us get out to more people. We're only about 100 likes from 1,000, so if you have not already, make sure to hit the like button down below. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are closing in pretty close to actually 30,500 subscribers, so if you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It's free to do as well, and we do severe weather coverage across the entire state of Texas and across the entire country for the most part, so make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. If you ever want to support the page and get a badge in chat as well, you can become a member for as little as $2.99 a month. Click the top link in the description below if you want to become a member. Otherwise, that is it for my spiel. Earth is a hologram. Hey, there you go. No, I have interesting theories. I am not really that private about my theories with the entire Earth and all that, but I won't really say them, but I have a lot of theories in terms of just everything. In terms of, Earth and all that. How it formed, how it's become to what it is, but none of it's religious by any means. It's just like my personal thing of what I think has happened here, but I have no clue. Nobody really knows for sure. They call the Big Bang Theory a theory for a reason. I have the max velocity theory. I'm not gonna say it. Pretty wild stuff. Lightning in Houston, but very little wind compared to the storm's build-up heights. Yeah, the wind has not been overly... Yeah, this is actually the velocities, and it's very weak. It was a bit stronger before it got to Houston. The velocities are around 20 miles per hour at best. That's it. So, oops, I did not mean to do that. So yeah, that's basically it. So in Houston, the winds are very weak, which is good news. That means power outages are probably not going to happen unless it comes from lightning. But back near the radar site near Santa Fe, just a little heads up, back over southeast of Houston, there is a little bit of a storm developing there, a little storm brewing, just coming off the coast. That's going to the north, by the way. So, can you recommend any software other than My Radar? I recommend My Radar and Radar Scoop. Those are the two apps that I recommend for radars and stuff like that. Those are the main two that I usually use. Not a sponsor, by the way. Not an advertisement. I wish it was. That'd be awesome, but no. Those are the two that I like the most. Those are the ones I really ever used either, so. Yeah, Houston has an effect on storms. They become very strong and then they weaken before they get there. Now, I mean, yeah, you can kind of say that, but this is a storm actually that I didn't think would live through Houston as a severe storm. With the environment that we have, these are not storms. I mean, if we look at the instability, which there is instability today, there is a little bit of low-level rotation, which did equivalent to that funnel cloud earlier. But if we go over to the instability values right now, I can pull that up here on this map, which is quite interesting. This is the surface instability, so the Cape values. And this is the look at that. And the values near Houston are around about 500 to 1,000 at the surface. Back near Corpus Christi, it's a bit higher, but they are there. There is some instability for sure. We just don't have all the ingredients in place. We need much more than just instability. Instability is one of dozens of factors that goes into severe weather and whatnot. And with how much storm activity there's also ongoing, it makes it harder for storms to even be severe in this sort of environment. And that's kind of one of the biggest factors too, is just the amount of storms there are. They're all sharing energy amongst themselves, which kind of limits the overall severe weather threat as well with all the storms that we have. Even though we've seen some severe weather, it's much more isolated in nature than it usually could, or at least could be. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Pleasant Hill. This is for nickel-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's moving east. Locations are on the left side of your screen. That is back up in Louisiana. We do have a couple of warnings up that direction as well. Tom, it's more lightning than anything right now in Bel Air. Bel Air. I don't know how to say the name. Hopefully I'm saying that name right, but more of lightning more than anything right now. There is no tornado. No tornado. We're looking at there right now. Somebody's asking about rotation near Victoria, Texas. I looked at this a few minutes ago. I don't think there's any with this at all. At least when I looked. I'll double check though to see if anything has changed. But I'm pretty certain this is not rotating. But we'll glance at it real quick. It's more of a hail threat right now. Quarter-sized hail, maybe a little bit of damaging winds. This is the velocities. There's nothing there in terms of rotation by any means. And yeah, there's nothing for Victoria, Texas. It's just gonna be hail and damaging winds. The winds are just so weak at the lower levels right now. It's making it much harder for any tornado threat to really evolve here in Texas. So that's one of those big things right now. Off the coast here near the Jamaica Beach area, southeast of Danbury, there is some very weak and broad rotation. There's not any winds going towards the radar, but the little hook, you can kind of see it here. It's actually kind of interesting. I drew a horrible line. Little hook. And again, not really any rotation per se, but there is a little hook there. I do think the low level winds, that is such a mouthword of words there, but they are overall pretty weak tonight, and they will stay that way for the most part. So that's another factor on why we're not really seeing much of a tornado threat, is because the low level winds are fairly weak tonight. The low level winds. I gotta say that word very slow, or that phrase very slow, because those are that's a mouth air. Bel Air, thank you. Okay, I think I said that. Hey Minty, how you doing? Welcome. Tom, there is no tornado. Lightning strikes, by the way, in Houston, for those that are wondering, on this massive area of rain. By the way, Houston is about to get really dumped on with rain here in a second. Currently around 125 strikes per minute. It has gradually gone down over the last 30 minutes. Not by much, but it has very slowly gone down, which is good news. It is good news, but obviously we still have a lot of lightning out there. So if you're in Houston, again, you're going to be probably awake for a little bit here if you cannot sleep through lightning, or thunder as well, and all the flashes that come with it. We've had a couple of videos that have come in tonight that have been cloud to ground lightning, so pretty wild to say the least. All right, so we don't have any new reports, by the way, at this point in terms of these storms. We actually do have one report coming out of, actually I know this person. That's in the report. There was at least some pretty substantial hail back over in the Shreveport area. This is one of the photos that came out of there. It almost looks like it sleeted or snowed. A lot of pea-sized hail there. That is a photo that actually came out of the Louisiana area. No specific location with this. It looks to be more of the pea-sized or M&M sized hail, as I refer to, or Reese's Pieces hail, you know? Like, kind of like the hail size that we saw there, but nothing really beyond that. Highest hailstone size, it looks like there was possibly quarter-sized, but that was in a very mixed area there of a lot of smaller hailstones as well. It is a light show, yes, that is factual. It is very well a light show. By the way, we're only 65 likes from 1,000. If you've not already, make sure to hit the like button down below. It is free to do. And yeah, make sure to hit the like button down below. I would appreciate it. Been a great stream so far, by the way. I appreciate everybody supporting the stream, by the way. Regardless of you donating or anything like that, even by you watching, I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me, by the way. It really does. Having almost 1,000 viewers almost its entire time is pretty remarkable. And I really do appreciate everybody supporting the page as much as you guys do. It goes a long way. Cannot say it enough. Not say it enough. I'm glad so many people watch too. I'm really glad. Scary outside. It is. I would honestly, if I was here in Houston right now and I was just in a glass wall, let's just say I had glass all around me and I was looking up, that would be pretty scary how much lightning there is out there. I mean, 120 strikes per minute is no joke, and that is almost all of that is happening right now in the center and core of this storm over Houston, which is just absolutely wild. So is bonkers we're seeing out there. It is something else for sure. A lot of lightning. Kelly, I do not. I cover the entire United States, or the lower 48, I should say. I do cover Alaska and Hawaii for very, very rare occasions, but I really haven't yet, so I do the entire lower 48. We're just mainly focused on the storm near Houston right now, because this one's been producing a load of lightning, and in addition to that is producing some very heavy rainfall. We do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, or actually 3 still ongoing. We actually got a brand new one that just got issued for Victoria. Victoria, Texas, heads up there. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible here. This literally just got issued as I scrolled out. So again, make sure you're away from windows and lowest floor possible throughout the storm, especially if you're near trees, because trees can definitely get knocked down with this storm. But brand new severe thunderstorm warning here back over near Victoria. This goes until 12:45 tonight. Good one, Brian. I'm in San Antonio. Nothing ever comes our way. Well, this event was not expected to impact San Antonio to begin with. The cold front a bit further to the south and east. Actually, really, a little heads up here. This is actually kind of interesting. So tomorrow, believe it or not, tomorrow in California, and this is not California really stream right now, but there's actually a marginal threat for severe weather in California. And interestingly enough, this is a very rare event, by the way. There's never, ever really severe weather threats in California to begin with. There is actually a tornado threat, believe it or not. And there's a marginal threat for severe weather, and there's a tornado threat. Look at that. That's actually kind of incredible. That is for those northwest of Los Angeles and south of San Francisco. That's crazy. Something that hardly ever happens. I might have to stream the severe weather in California tomorrow night, which I typically don't do, but I typically do not go live for that many marginal threat days, but that might be something I have to go live for. Might have to be it. Hey, no guarantees, no guarantees. NFL Sundays tomorrow. I typically am pretty locked into my football games, but even tonight I actually went live during the Jags and Titans game, I meant. But whatever. I'd rather save lives than you watching football, but we have a video that I might show you guys. I need to see if there's anything in this one. Pretty much. Okay. We've had a lot of videos. If you guys have any videos or photos of tonight, by the way, from any of the severe weather that you've seen, feel free to tweet me on Twitter. Again, the Twitter is right now below me. You literally can see my mention tag there. You can also just go ahead and click the link in the description. That's the best way to send me photos and videos. You can also message me on that platform. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. All of those platforms are in the description below. So feel free. Again, that is a pretty big thing that a lot of people have been doing tonight, and we've had a lot of pretty wild videos as well, so pretty wild stuff to say the least. Been an active night though across Texas. Has really been an active night, much more active than I was expecting. There is a tornado threat in California, believe it or not. It's pretty low. It's a 2% probability. There is one. Water break. I actually don't have any water left. I wasn't expecting to be live for 2 hours, so my water bottle was half full. So, been live for almost over 2 hours actually now. By the way, we're only 13 likes away from 1,000 likes. Make sure to hit the like button down below. If you're enjoying the content, more importantly, make sure to hit the like button down below. It's free to do. And we're also, on another note, 22 subscribers from 30,500. That's the last goal for tonight. It's 1,000 likes, 22 more subscribers. We can probably do it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. We're only 22 away. And again, that's wild. I literally just hit 30,000 subscribers like 2 days ago. It's pretty crazy. Hey, we've officially hit 1,000 likes. I appreciate it, guys. That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Oh, Cowboys. I'm a Patriots fan. I don't think we're winning at all tomorrow. Bills are probably going to absolutely crush us. I'm so excited to have a painful tomorrow afternoon in front of the TV, watching us get crushed. Really what's going to happen. That'll be entertaining. Feels bad to be a Patriots fan this year. The offense has been god awful. I literally, it's been so hard to watch for me. It's been brutal. I watch every game too. There is no tornado, Tom. I've said that multiple times. California is going wild. It's because of the Pineapple Express. The Pineapple Express is a strong atmospheric river which has continually brought a bunch of these troughs that are essentially just dumping rain in California right now. It's going to continue through next week too. So it's been wild. Yeah, there's a marginal threat for California as well. There is a little marginal threat. Nothing too big, but from Boston, and I agree. I'm assuming almost everybody in Boston agrees with that statement. The offense is hard to watch. When do we switch the pattern? Not anytime soon, actually. That Pineapple Express is going to continue through potentially this upcoming weekend. So it's going to be another 7 days or so. Oh, by the way, heads up for those that regularly watch me. I am going to be going back to college pretty shortly. So live streams and videos will be back to wonky schedules, and live streams will just be kind of whenever I can do them. So just heads up there. I should be able to do live streams pretty consistently, though, throughout the semester for the afternoon and evening threats. Late afternoon, evening threats, that is. I should be able to. So I'll keep you updated, though, for the most part. I mean, I'll try to go live as much as I can. Obviously, I try to anytime I can, but see what happens. I'm getting hungry. I need food. Hungry tonight. I didn't really have I didn't really have dinner, so that's kind of an issue. I'll have to eat after the stream. Anybody have any I can't talk. Anybody else have any questions? Feel free to let me know in the chat. Take a couple more minutes here for questions. By the way, 120 strikes per minute is what's going on right now in Houston. Actually, latest update shows 160 strikes per minute in Houston. There is a lot of lightning in Houston. So, again, long next couple of hours ahead there for those in the Houston area. There will be a lot of rumbles of thunder. Hopefully, you can just get through them and sleep. But obviously, it's going to be pretty difficult with how much thunder and lightning there is out there right now. I am not from, I used to live in Texas. I loved living in Texas. The food in Texas is on another level. The barbecue food is so good. Raising Cane's is the one thing I miss the most from Texas, because I do not have that anymore. So I have no clue, Big. It depends on when if I do go live, which I don't know if I will yet for California. If I do, it'll probably be sometime around the same time probably as what I'm doing right now. Maybe a couple hours earlier, but I don't know. We'll see. Whataburger is the most overrated restaurant going, and I am not even capping about that. It is the most overrated place going. The only reason why I like it is because they give you a large soda. That is it for the combos. That's it. I went there several times. I think it's very average. Very, very average for fast food. To be fair, though, McDonald's is not any better. I don't really go to McDonald's. Their breakfast, though, is pretty good. Check inside the store for a rotation. This is a good one. Culver's? Actually, Culver's is pretty good. I like Culver's. Pretty good. I'm getting more hungry just thinking about this stuff. I am already starving as is. I was not expecting to stream for 2 hours, so I've still not really eaten in, like, I think 6 or 7 hours now. So I'm eating a very late dinner tonight. Or just a snack at this point. Yeah, food, I haven't been able to. I'm live. The only thing is, I would get food during a live stream, but DoorDash is like $30 or something ridiculous nowadays. So it is so expensive. I don't know if you guys have ever used DoorDash or any of those other apps, but they are wildly expensive. Thank you, by the way, for everybody that just subscribed. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. And again, thank you guys for 1,000 likes. Really means the world to me. And I think we may have just hit 30,500. No, we're still 10 subscribers from 30,500 subscribers. Again, 10 more of you. Just hit the subscribe button down below. We are about to hit the last goal of the night, 30,500. I would appreciate it. Again, we do live streams across the entire United States, so you're not missing out on anything by hitting the subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon down below so you get notified when I go live and the latest videos and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, a little bit of fasting isn't bad. A little bit of fasting isn't too bad. Yeah, the taxes on DoorDash orders are absolutely absurd. Mark, I am not. No, I don't know why I get that a lot, but no. I do not know anything about this YouTube weather space. I literally just live stream. I don't know really any of these other people, to be honest with you. I'm aware of a lot of them, but like I don't ever watch them. I have no correlation with any of them. The only person I even watch on YouTube in terms of weather is Reed Timmer, because he is a meteorologist. Other than that, there's nobody else for the most part that is a meteorologist on YouTube. I do enjoy watching his storm chasing live streams when he goes. I think he's actually doing one for California, if I'm not mistaken, so that'll be interesting. He just tweeted me on Twitter and tweeted, "A Whataburger in Fulshire absolutely sucks." Okay. It's not my opinion, but okay. I don't know where that is. I don't, honestly, again, Whataburger for me, I just don't like it. Some people do, which is totally fine, but I just don't like Whataburger. Reed is a legend. I have to agree with that. Hopefully one day, though, I'm hoping someday that Reed Timmer does come to Florida. Maybe we can do a little storm chase or something, if he allows me. I don't know if he would, but maybe something for the future. Maybe something. That'd be fun. Dr. Max. No, I'm not going for my doctorate's degree. I am going for a bachelor's degree, and that's it. There's no way I'm going for a doctorate's degree, because I literally, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like I'll say it straight out. School for me, I just don't enjoy that much. I love the weather classes, but other than that, it's just everything else is so boring. And if I had to take another 4 years of these like low, like I'm not gonna say low classes, but like the classes that I just don't really want to take, it would be painful. I'd go insane. The one big thing I love about going to college, though, is just the weather classes. They're awesome. Like, I love going to those classes. And obviously I do, because I'm doing weather right now. I want to be a meteorologist, but they're awesome. They really are. Great professors as well. There are a couple that are a little bit painful, but are not nearly as necessary as mine. Masters, yeah. Masters is 2 more years. Hey, maybe if I don't know. If this page keeps, kind of going at the rate it's been growing, though, and, the possible opportunities I have for jobs and stuff like that, I probably will not go beyond bachelor's. Hey, Jackson. How you doing? Welcome back. You DoorDash every meal trying to stop? How do you DoorDash every meal? That's actually wild. I wish I could afford DoorDashing every meal. That would be so convenient, and that would also leave me to be able to be live for like ever. That'd be awesome, but take a cooking class. Cooking is I like cooking sometimes. YouTubers are making a fortune now. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people that's making a fortune, but maybe one day. You never know. The amount of support, though, that I've gotten, though, is absolutely unbelievable. And I really do truly appreciate everybody, by the way, that's, just even watching, that's become a member, all that sort of stuff. It legitimately goes such a long way. You guys might not understand that, but it really does. So I really do appreciate all the support, whether, again, it's one thing or another. Being a member, just watching, being a subscriber, liking the video, or you just watching without any of that stuff, it really does go a long way, so. Might not understand that, but it really does. It really does. As a college student, it is one of those things. Really, really, really supportive. I am growing, that's true, but I mean, I don't know. I'm growing, but maybe one day I'll be more relevant. I don't know. Oh, you can't afford it, but it's convenient. It's hard to stop. I don't disagree. I've DoorDashed, though, a couple times. I'm one of those people, though, that's really sensitive about money. Like, if I spend 20 bucks on a meal, I would actually, like, that'd be such a deficit. I could buy 4 meals for the price of $20. Like, that's kind of like, or even more than that, but. That's awesome, Supercell. That's awesome. You'd be a phenomenal meteorologist at a doctorate's degree. I would also be a phenomenal meteorologist at a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. I don't see much value in going further, but if there's some sort of value there, I might consider it, but I just don't think there really is, but I'll have to look into it a bit more. Yeah, I got you, way. Joe, with this storm in Houston, no hail. From what I know, there's no hail. If anything, it's like very small M&M sized hail, which is like what I like to go off of. So M&M sized hail, Reese's Pieces, M&M sized hail. That's basically it. Very tiny hail, if anything. But other than that, there's no hail with this storm. There is some near Victoria, Texas. This is the Victoria, Texas storm. I'm not going to go to the other radar, but that's what we're looking at now. Victoria is about to get hammered with a lot of rain, potentially quarter-sized hail, and as well as some gusty winds. Up to 60 miles per hour, damaging winds. Up to that. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. I should be a volcanologist. That's an interesting one. I go live for almost everything, guys. I really do. I try to go live for every severe weather event. So I'm not one of those people that just goes live for the big hype events that people try to make out of stuff. I really do try to go live for literally every event. If something's restricting me, which there always seems to be with some of these events, but there's something restricting me, that's kind of one of the other stories. But I do find a lot more value in going live for some of these smaller events that, for whatever reason, people don't cover. These are, you know, pretty notable events. Even tonight, there was a tornado warning, and these storms are absolutely electrifying. It's unbelievable. And I think almost anybody in this chat right now could agree. There's a lot of lightning. If you're in Houston right now, you're probably seeing a lot of flashes of lightning right now. Bobby, I've heard of it, but I just don't follow him, and I don't follow really anybody in that YouTube space. Reed is the Tom Brady of storm chasers. I actually would agree with that comment. That's a pretty good one. I would agree with that. I love Reed, man. He's awesome. I watch him a lot. I know like every weather person on YouTube for the most part. I don't watch any of them, and I have never really watched any of them. So, yeah, other than Reed, again, Reed's only one. Thank you for the report. So yeah, Victoria has a lot of intensity. Yeah, that storm over there, Victoria, again, is severe. So it is definitely pretty intense over that direction. Bobby, I may go live for the flooding event tomorrow in California. We will see. I'm not 100% guaranteeing it, but I am planning on it. So stay tuned. I most likely will. Thank you, Jessica, for the report. Appreciate it. Yeah, back over in Beaumont as well. Even over in Beaumont, which is actually pretty far east, isn't it? That's back over here. Actually, that's off to your north, too. That's with slightly lesser severe storms. They're more strong, I would say, if anything. Let's look at the radar real quick. Yeah, it's just actually rain, which is crazy. There's even lightning with this, and that's just pure, pretty much rain at this point. Very, very weak storms, but they're producing a hefty amount of lightning. Alrighty, that's it for the stream tonight. I was gonna go live for slightly longer, but I do want to do a few things. I need to eat before I go to bed, so I do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I am starving. I have not eaten in like 6 hours, so I appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. I really do. Make sure to like button before you leave. Make sure you're subscribed as well before you leave as well. I'm pretty sure we're only 2 subscribers. Let me check. Yeah, 2 subscribers from 30,500. So before you leave, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon as well while you're at it to make sure you get notified when I go live for more severe weather events and as well as the latest videos. And I really do appreciate everybody's support tonight. Any of the super chats as well as the new members that we've had tonight, I really appreciate you guys. But again, if you guys ever have ever want to support the page, I should say, again, consider becoming a member. You get a bunch of benefits. You can see bloopers videos from this page, by the way, in the if you become a Tornado Chaser member. So make sure to consider that. You can click the top link in the description below. You can also donate to the page at any time. Those links are in the description below. It really, again, goes a long way. So, but otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching a lot. I really do appreciate everybody subscribing tonight, liking the stream, all that sort of stuff. And again, have a great, safe rest of your night. Also, give some claps in the chat for Shelly. Great moderator, and I appreciate her being here all the time. And I appreciate everybody coming in tonight, and we'll see you guys all again in the next live stream. Not sure when that'll be, but obviously this one was kind of out of the blue. I might be live again tomorrow night. We'll see. Have a great, safe rest of your night, and we will see you guys all again soon. Have a great safe night. Stay away from windows, and again, be weather aware in case there are any more warnings tonight. See you guys all again soon.